This year? What? Because I told him to give up the parenting rights to that baby. So he's mad at me.
So are we canceling the trip?
No. There's other people I go to see there. It's not all about him. The 21st. No. There's other people I go to see there. It's not all about him.
Oh, would y'all look at that? I boot up my laptop, and the screen's oriented like this. It's got colorblind colors, and it's got the safety magnifying mode on. I wonder how all that happened. No clue. Mika. He's ready for bed, Mom. Mika.
Child. Come here, baby. Come on. It's time for bed. Come here, baby. It's time. Oh, my sweetheart. Oh, my sweetheart. Did he poop?
No.
Check him?
I did check him, but it didn't look like he pooped. No. I did check him, but it didn't look like he
Здравствуй, камрад.
Guten Abend.
Oh my goodness.
Wie geht es Ihnen?
Здравствуй, камрад. You are very quiet again.
I shouldn't be too quiet.
Oh my goodness.
Oh god. Yeah, well,
I gotta mute.
Am I quiet?
yeah, I had to turn your volume up to 200% and then turn up the volume on my headset and then turn everyone else down because they were then screaming.
I personally did not have.
What?
Did you all remember to mute your YouTube so you're not hearing it twice?
Yeah.
Someone didn't.
I don't know, mine is muted.
There.
What?
Did you all remember to mute your YouTube so you're not hearing it twice?
Yeah.
Someone didn't.
Yeah, the input volume should be all the way up.
Yeah.
I hear you fine.
You're fine now. I mean, but I had to turn you way the fuck up. Like, you don't have to change anything. Good. Good. Please don't change anything, because then I'll have to change my setting. And I just don't want to. Good. Really, it'd take me like 5 seconds, but I'll do it.
Are you hearing an echo? Anybody else?
No, it's the thing.
Oh, right. It's
The stream.
okay.
You
Hold
gotta
on,
mute
let me
it.
mute it. There we
Yeah.
go. Okay, I just have to bring up the stuff on my laptop.
The feces, laptop feces.
I don't know where Rem is, so won't respond to me.
Yeah, I can't exactly do my dice roller and random number generator on the stream.
He'll be home soon.
Speaking of which, I should open those up. Let me
It only takes him 30 minutes.
close Netflix. I'm not gonna watch Netflix while I'm doing this.
Google insists on having Lisa signed in. I've signed her
Why?
out like 3 times.
Well, Google's God, aphasia's
Easy
fun.
for you to say.
Exactly. It's really not. Nothing is easy for me to say.
That was a great joke.
What exactly should we do until Rem gets here?
Also, you're all welcome. I am a gift to the human.
So apparently Angel, my son daughter, is now DMing her own games.
Oh,
Alright.
like father, like son, daughter.
Daughter, son?
Angel, daughter, son.
I'm really confused by that statement.
So are we.
So is everyone.
Yeah, especially his son, daughter, who claims to be what a man girl, but doesn't want to be man-like in a way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really weird. And by weird, I mean she's very
But we're here.
she
You guys are cutting out.
cutting that.
What happened to that sheet I had?
I do not know, comrade.
Anyways, you guys are basically on speaker.
Okay,
Just letting you know.
thanks, buddy.
There we go. There's some pictures. Oh yeah, I was running it last time from my laptop.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I forgot that. I kept running it from my laptop for some reason.
See,
Maybe it's because I was watching a movie or playing a game on the computer while I was DMing.
I have no idea. It was certainly something, though. You certainly did
Yeah.
something, for sure.
I'm joking, and the combat spreadsheet got all jacked up. What? Oh, that's the wrong one. No, don't. Come on, there we go. Alright, looks like we've got everybody who's gonna be here. Did anybody want to let that, what was his name, know that we're starting now instead of at 11?
Who? What?
Winter.
Oh, I don't think he's joining us.
Yeah, I thought that was because he was under the impression we weren't starting till like 11 o'clock.
Thought it said 10.
Why is it every single time I say that I want to start at a certain time, Josh, like, tells everybody it's an hour earlier?
I don't think he
No.
said 10.
No, I'm not. I never said 10, comrade.
You said
9.
you said like 10 p.m. It literally says it right here, like 10 p.m.
Yeah, thank you.
And then Winter says EST, and then you said that word. GENAU.
I sent him a message. We'll see if he answers.
Genau?
That's what it says. It says GENAU.
Yeah, genau. Right,
Okay.
correct. Das stimmt.
Doch?
Richtig.
I would not have known that meant correct or any of those other terms. Just
I
FYI.
figured it was. I figured the context would.
I mean, I
translate it.
assumed that's what it meant. I just didn't know how to pronounce it.
See, context.
I didn't assume anything. I assume nothing. I assume everything comrade says is a lie and bullshit. Because that's the safest bet.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Well,
Lisa,
can you blame me?
No, Lisa's sitting behind me listening to you and just going, yep.
I'm not surprised. She knows you. She knows you at least as well as I do. Probably better. She has sex with you, allegedly. According to you, though. So I don't know. Like, it is all according. I mean,
At least once.
at least
At
once.
least
Yeah.
one.
At least once that we know of.
There's proof.
Well, I mean, there's proof that you had a child. That doesn't necessarily mean you had it with Nick.
Oh my god. Who else? Who else is gonna...
I don't know. People are weird.
I'm just setting up the some of the bad guys, so I don't have to do that when we get there.
Cool. Are you using the templates I sent you, or are you just making it up like before?
What?
Yep. That's what I thought. You're making it up. I took the time. I spent hours on those templates. Didn't even bother. Never even gonna use them, are you? Never gonna use them.
No, totally gonna use them.
Don't lie to me. You don't even have them, do you?
The templates?
Yeah.
No, I have them
Mm-hmm.
in my Google Sheets, I think. Didn't you share them with me?
They're not through Google Sheets. Yeah, I sent them to you.
Yeah, I thought you sent them to me through Messenger or Google Sheets or something.
Yeah, it's Messenger.
Oh, well, I haven't downloaded them yet,
Yeah, that's what I thought. See what I mean?
but I do have them.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. You just make up your enemies, man.
Alright, I've got pretty much the minions mapped out. Let me double check that I have everything right. Safi, you have 180 hit points.
Unless that changed from the last time.
If you changed your health, then it changed.
Okay.
If you changed your endurance, then it changed.
I didn't. Okay.
Sen, you
You
had
should
what? 200 even?
minimize your Discord. I had how much? I had 170.
170? I mean max health.
Yeah.
Okay. And Raggle was at 200.
I'm at 225.
220.
225. 225.
225. Armor was 1.6 for Raggle.
It's 18 now. I have more endurance. So.
Sen,
You know, your armor should be more than that.
8.
Oh, I'm at 11 now.
No, my armor's
11.
No, we made God armor and adjusted. I remember this.
Oh, that's right, comrade.
Yeah.
Oh, so it should. What's the armor bonus for the god armor?
Cause I have mine at 24 now.
Mine went from 7 to 11.
It should be higher than that, Sen.
Yeah, there should be higher than that. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What was the armor bonus for it, comrade?
I thought is because I added 4 points for medium armor.
No, but that doesn't include the God bonus.
You.
So how much?
From
Stay
where?
in the hallway for the next 30
Yeah,
minutes.
only go to your room if you're going to sleep. Use the library the rest of the time. There's a nice warm fire in there.
Is the fire still going?
No.
Comrade.
Okay, so the god armor should be something like double the normal armor value.
Base armor or modified?
The base armor. And
Okay,
then you
so
add
that
your
would-
modifier.
Oh. Okay.
Well, you guys told me 24 last time, so that's what my armor's at right now.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
working on mine.
Wait,
Mine
yeah.
is 36.
If my was my base 4 or was my base 7? My base was 4, so I doubled that, which was 8, and then added my modifier of 3. That's 11, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So that's there you go.
Okay. So
I'm at 36. I think you did something weird to that math. You don't just add the modifier. You take the modifier and then you multiply it times the base, and then you add that number to the base again.
Oh, okay. So 16.
Okay, yeah, that sounds better.
Wait, what's your modifier? Your modifier is 3, right?
3. Yeah. So 3 times 4 is 12 plus 4 is 16.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
16. And Safi, your base was 8 or 7?
What are you doing with that microphone?
Nothing. Okay. So, just that. Just that. Okay, we are just about ready to go. Sin, I forgot to mention at the end of the last game, but you did get a boon from the god Thor.
You got a boon?
You
A
did.
boon.
You got it's basically a bracelet, and once a day it can spawn 1d12 other bracelets made of solid gold. He gifted it to you for your heroism and your reckless behavior in fighting the last god.
It's fantastic.
Awesome.
Can you tell me one more time what this sweet bracelet does? And someone is echoing.
Who is doing? Yep, that it's Comrade. Yep, I can see
That
it.
makes sense, because, yeah, we're on... That makes sense. But yeah,
Yep.
can you tell me one more time what the bracelet is?
Once a day, the bracelet will spawn 1d12 of itself.
Do the duplicates have the same ability?
No.
Damn
I was about to say, like, good.
Well, that sounds...
But it does give you more for your horde.
Yes,
Dragon
yes,
Lady.
it does. Ooh.
Dragon Lady.
Yeah. Very excited about that.
Should be.
I did want to ask a clarifying question, though. Because in D3, when any gold drops, and I assume that means in this game when any gold is mentioned, they literally just go out on their own, and I don't have to command them to do it. But for sake of this game, am I still having to say that that's what they're doing when the opportunity to take money is presented?
No, I always just assume that all my players are very greedy and pretty much loot everything within sight.
Fantastic. So yeah, then that means all my companions get...
Literally, including bits and pieces of God.
Yup.
Which I have a nice, huge collection of God skin and God everything.
It's true.
Do you
I
guys
have God
remember?
steak
Yeah, do you guys remember what you made out of the bones?
armor.
I made a lot of shit.
I didn't make anything out of the bone.
I made
Sin, did-
everything out of the bone.
Sin,
And then
did
I
you
kept the
remember
rest of it.
to include your new armor bonus for the scales?
Yes, a +4 armor bonus.
Yeah, so I think you should be
Oh,
at
shit.
20.
Oh, so I should be at 20.
Yeah.
Fallen.
Deal.
And 20.
How does the minus 10% for elements work? Does that mean if I'm attacked by an element, they just get like a...
A minus
Yeah.
10 to that
Okay.
element.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, my
That's
phone.
so weird hearing that, though.
It is wearing yourself, right? Excuse me. Gonna
Alright.
burp a little.
So I'm gonna get a Diet Coke in a moment, but
Of course you are.
before I do that, before we get started, I just wanted to bring up a question I had for everybody, and that's, would you guys like to start using webcams when we do this? I was going to get some software that allows us to format it and move everything over to Twitch.
Oh.
I mean, I don't have one.
I don't have one.
I have one, so I'm
Well, I mean, yeah.
fine with that. But yeah, obviously, sorry.
Josh, I have like 3 of them, so.
Oh yeah, I can steal one from you. I mean, it's easy to get the drivers for it.
Worst case scenario, everybody carries a webcam around with them in their pocket nowadays.
Yeah, but I'm not going to use my phone for that. I don't get good signal out here, and it would be really shoddy.
Yeah, my phone doesn't work in my house.
That sucks.
Yeah,
You guys can't connect your phone to Wi-Fi?
Well,
I
I'm
did, but
full and
for
ready for that.
some reason it will not do stuff. Like for 90% of the time, it's connected to the Wi-Fi, but it won't send data and information over the Wi-Fi like half the time.
All right.
Probably because I
Well-
told it never to do that or share my information with people, so it doesn't.
All right. Well, I'll make sure to get you a webcam tomorrow.
Alright.
But yeah, if that's something you guys would be interested in doing, we'd all have webcams, and then we would
That'd
do.
be fun. I used to stream on Twitch.
Yeah, and I'll have the setup just be a little bit more, planned.
All right.
I'm
I'll
down.
see what my hubby can find.
Can you minimize your Discord?
Yeah, we're tired of looking at ourselves talking.
I just want to see the stuff.
No, right now there is no stuff, but
But there will be stuff.
there will be stuff going on all over the place.
Oh, that sounded dirty.
A little bit, but that right.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna go
it,
get the
it
Diet
meant
Coke.
glitter. Like, I have glitter everywhere. It's very...
Very, very filthy. All that glitter.
It's
I
pink,
think-
though.
Yeah, I think when we move to Twitch, this is actually going to be populated with a background. And it'll be accessible so that you guys will be able to move your own tokens.
Everyone's going to see my classroom background. Great.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys wanted to, you could use one of those programs that alters your background and hang a green screen behind you.
Well, yeah, I have a green screen. I just don't have the, what's it called? Well, I can't, the thing that holds it up.
Oh.
Clips, nails, a stand.
What? A stand. Let's go with a stand.
A nail gun.
What? I'm not gonna
Staples.
put it. No, if I do it to my wall, that is way too much effort. I am not tall enough for that.
They make
Chair
these
and some
things.
duct
They're
tape?
called ladders.
Yeah,
And
you know how
tall
much
people.
effort that is to do that every Saturday?
You could. Well, I mean,
Some PVC
yeah.
and some duct tape. We'll make a frame.
Or you
Ooh.
could just leave it there forever.
Would that be cheaper than just ordering one on?
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to grab that Diet Coke. I'll be back in a minute.
Oogly.
I'm actually gonna use the restroom while he does that.
All right. Everybody's.
I'm still here.
Safi's still here. Thank you for being here, Safi.
You're welcome.
We gotta-
Remove the microphone from your face when you eat or drink.
Always a good idea.
Who?
You.
Me?
Hear you smacking on something over there.
I'm not doing anything.
Heard somebody smacking on something.
I think you're losing it. Unless Safi's eating stuff.
I had a piece of chocolate, but that was it.
Aha! Gotcha!
See? Trying to blame things on me?
I always blame things on you, Josh. What's new?
Nothing. Yes. Yeah?
Nice talk.
It was a good talk. We've established so many things.
He's got to go to bed eventually.
No, he doesn't.
All right. I'm ready when you guys are.
Kindle went to the bathroom for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Holy. So have you statted Ivan yet?
Yes, I have.
Ah, excellent. Oh, man.
Yeah, he's got some interesting skills.
Yeah.
And has definitely done a complete 180 from what he was.
What should have.
Yeah. He's gone from, wussy merchant to
Welcome back.
basically a berserk.
Oh, is he a berserk? Is he actually a berserk?
Pretty much. I mean, he uses a two-handed axe, wears heavy armor, and actually wears a bear skin that he killed himself.
He actually killed the
That's really
bearskin
cool.
himself.
Well, yeah. Well, he killed the bear himself and then took the skin.
We did that with gods.
Oh, damn, you know what I can't do if we stream with webcams? Not that this is, like, gonna stop me from doing it, but can't smoke weed while we do this.
Oh, you're right. You'll have to do that off screen. That'll
Yeah,
be
I have
terrible.
to just, like, turn my camera off every time. I don't, no, I'll just not. I don't know that, I guess.
No, no one's gonna stop you. I drink
my
my whiskey
teaching
out of a coffee.
certificate stops me.
Well,
No, I mean, like,
I'm streaming from Maryland, so technically, if it's medical, I believe it's legal now, or at least decriminalized.
I guess people don't have to know where I am.
Yeah, federal, it's still not.
Pretty
Well,
sure
what you could
I
do
still should not
is
be.
just have cigarettes. Smoke house.
Yeah, then I'll just promote to the children to smoke cigarettes. Oh, sure.
What children? What?
Oh,
We're
I'm
not
just thinking.
streaming children.
I
Who
understand that,
watches
but
this
if
other than
I
us?
ever have kids who come find me on Twitch, even if it's by accident, and they see that I'm smoking weed, and they tell their parents, and then that gets back to the teaching board, I lose my teaching certificate.
Yeah, because you don't
Because I
have the
signed, like, I
Uh,
signed a thing that literally says I'll be an upstanding citizen in public, and I should not be doing anything that could be questionably morally incorrect.
Yeah, I did that in the army too, but that didn't. I never did that.
Well, it's a whole different thing nowadays.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying to make a good reputation online.
Well, we'll try and work on a way to like censor your monitor when something's happening. So like you can hit a button and a big, like a big pot leaf will pop up over your screen
Oh,
saying
yeah.
definitely not abusing drugs.
Nope. Not at all. Could be a dragon.
Just put a screen up
It
that
could
says
be
just
Puff
say
Magic
no.
Dragon.
You could just take
Right?
frequent
Just say
bathroom
no.
breaks.
I gotta pee, guys.
Sorry, guys, I got a small bladder. I gotta go.
I'm gonna be a clumsy rogue and a rogue with small bladder.
Yeah, there you
The
go.
size of a thimble.
Time she goes to pee and comes back, she looks so happy.
It's a big
She must
relief.
really like peeing.
Do.
You never know. Some people enjoy going to the bathroom.
That's true.
On others. Wasn't
Yep,
me.
It's
that is
true.
also a thing.
That was definitely a thing.
All right,
Not was. Pretty sure it is.
I don't know. Well, there was a whole court case. I saw it.
So the last time our party was together, you guys had taken out the god Smir, an almost
Chernabog.
unpronounceable name, Smirnagod.
Chernabog.
Yeah, Chernabog. That's right. 'Cause
Chernabog.
he's got a counterpart, Belabog or something like that, light and dark. Anyway,
Bilbo or something. I don't know.
you had
Yeah.
taken him out deep within his dungeon, skinned and utilized every part of his body. You were
Nothing goes to
also
waste.
lucky enough to recover what looks like a lens from within the heart of Belabog, Smurda,
Chernabog.
Chernabog, right? Cherna means black, bog is bog. So, upon returning to Valhalla, Frigg sees the lens and recognizes it. She would then inform you that the lens allows you to see the truth in all things when light shines through it the right way. But it hasn't been used in so long, no one's quite sure what light to use. Currently, the lens doesn't really show you anything except a distorted vision when you look through it. Just after the conversation with Frigg, one end of the hall or a door in the hall would open, and you would see what you believe is Ivan, but he's very hard to recognize. He looks like he's put on about 150 pounds of muscle. He's fairly fit to burst out of the chainmail he's wearing. He's donned a helmet now instead of his funny cap, and he looks like he's almost grown another 8 inches taller.
Nice.
As he walks in, he slings a giant axe. It's bigger than even a normal two-handed axe, over his shoulder with apparent ease, as though the thing weighs nothing, slams back a horn of meat, and comes over to greet you.
Ivan, my friend, you look different.
Been working out much?
Yeah. Do you even lift, bro?
I have died 1,000 deaths at the hand of Thor and other gods, but through death I have been reborn. I am now a warrior of the gods.
Well, I mean,
Congratulations.
Nice.
dying. I mean, I guess that's good. I mean, that's a good use of death.
He would lean over and his voice would get slightly lower. And I think when we are done with this, my newfound girth will allow me to barter a little better.
That's true. I mean, who's gonna argue with price over an axe?
Right. You will buy
He
this.
didn't say which girth, just say.
Yeah, exactly.
Do we know which god we are going after next?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Maybe they told us and then I ate a steak and I don't know.
You've been in food comatose state. For
It's
a
true.
while.
All I know
God
is we
steak.
have a lens
Turn that
thing.
down
We
more.
ate a god. I collected all his bones, skins, and soul and everything. And yeah, that's it.
Didn't Thor tell us about the next dude? Maybe not. Maybe I dreamt it.
I think Thor is busy throwing hammers at Ivan here.
Yeah. Thor had mentioned it in passing, but
Oh well,
now Heimdall would come over to you. Heimdall stands about 6 feet tall, and he's covered from, well, what you assume head to toe in scars. He's not wearing a shirt, and he's not in particularly great shape, but he looks like he's been in a fight and could probably still hold his own. His beard is down past his chest, long and gray, and he's missing an eye. As he approaches you, he gives you a terse greeting and immediately begins telling you what your next assignment or your next quest will be. He would say, you must take the lens, and you must take it deep within the Shattered Lands. It's hard to explain why they're called the Shattered Lands until you've been there. There, you must navigate through a maze of mist. Oh, what was the other word? Oh man, I rehearsed this.
you fucked it
Through a
up.
maze of mist and intrigue. If you are able to get to the center of the maze, there you will find the only light capable of activating the lens. But guarding this is Pheles, the god of trickery. He is a liar, but he also always tells the truth. Everything he says is both true and false at the same time, yet nothing he says is ever spoken.
What else do we have to face before we get to him?
He has 2 pets. No one has ever seen them. We just know he has 2 pets because he brags about them.
Does he ever
But if
brag about what
everything
they do?
Wait, you just said he never speaks. How can he brag if he never speaks?
He is full of he is full of mystery. He does speak,
you also said
but he doesn't speak.
Yeah, but you also said everything he says is both a truth and a lie. So what if
Maybe
he
he's
only
just
has one?
telekinesis. Or telepathy. Sorry, I know words.
You will understand more when you meet him. He is strange like Loki, but much darker.
Say so.
So does he use shadow magic?
Are we supposed to kill him?
Of course we're supposed to kill him, and obviously eat him. Because
I mean, maybe that's just what you want to do.
well, I just want to collect all the body parts of the gods and use them for things.
Maybe there's a way we could just convince him to let us use the light, and then be on our way.
That's what I was thinking.
I do not think it will be that easy. Even if he was not sworn to kill you on sight,
Oh, great.
because you did kill one of their other gods.
Yeah, I kind of figured they wouldn't be too. None of them
Alright,
would
so
be too
killing
happy
and
to
eating
see
it
us.
is. Heard that.
Even if
Right.
he was not sworn to kill you on sight, he would still take great pleasure in toying with you.
Well,
If
I
for
guess we're
no
gonna
other
find
reason
out.
than to watch you suffer.
I mean, he says we're gonna suffer.
Alright, time to go kill another asshole.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Is there any particular weapon that might be more useful against him?
Is there a more effective?
Your wits will be your greatest tool in this fight. You must keep them about you at all times. If you let them stray, wander, or even lose your focus, you may never find the path again.
We gotta focus on this one, guys, because we get distracted all the time.
I don't know what you.
Then I believe I've
Oh,
heard
look
you.
at Kitty.
Then I believe I've heard you say a phrase that's going to be repeated many, many times on
Is it I?
your next quest.
Does it have
It
to do
goes
with?
something like this: "We're fucked."
Well,
You know,
I don't know about that.
fucked yet.
Well, he would laugh and clap one of you on the shoulder. "Drink, for tonight you go, hopefully not to your death."
The man has
But-
told me to drink. I will comply.
Done.
I do enjoy drinking.
Cheers to death.
Cheers to death. What?
To death. He'd raise his horn to that.
To death?
Kapla!
What?
I mean, Ivan died, right? And
He
came
does
back
not
all
speak
badass.
Klingon. Get out of here.
Heimdall would then turn and wander down the table, occasionally talking to one of the men seated at the table and drinking with them. A little while later, Thor would come over, and first he would stare at Safi and ask, why is your sack leaking?"
Oh my god. Your soup.
You have soup in your sack.
I will fix it with some god meat. It'll be fine.
Okay. I guess warriors have strange superstitions. It is nothing. Are you
Never know
ready
when
to
you
go?
need a bag full of soup.
I don't like to not be hungry.
That's
I
a,
don't
super,
like
that's
to be
a good
hungry.
superstition. Hunger.
Yeah.
Rather die in battle than starve to death?
Yes.
Are you? Let me know when you are ready to go, and I will guide you to the bridge.
What bridge?
Oh, the bridge that allows you to travel to all worlds.
The
We cannot
Rainbow
teleport you. We cannot teleport you to the domain of Veles. However, you can take Bifrost.
Yeah, okay. Sounds fun.
What's Bifrost?
Bifrost is the rainbow bridge to all the realms.
Oh.
He
I didn't
just
know it had a
explained
name. He just said he would take us to the bridge. He didn't say what it was called.
Rainbow
But he did just call it that.
After.
You know
Not
that level on
context.
Mario Kart?
Yeah, it was. Oh my god, you're
Rainbow
right.
Road.
Holy shitballs, I never thought about that.
How do you what? How did you not make that connection?
How'd you
I
miss
don't
that?
fucking know. I don't know, alright? It's me. Comrade Manic
Sidetracked. We're
convinced me there was an
sidetracked. We're
island.
going
You're
to the
right.
bridge.
Okay,
We're
so
going to the bridge.
Okay.
onward to the bridge.
So
As
I guess we're going then.
finished my. Yep. Let's do
I'm
this.
gonna have all the mead.
It's fucking rage.
Great!
Name
I'm
the
gonna make sure I
movie.
have lots and lots of. And go.
Alright. So Thor and Heimdall would come with you, and they would lead the way
Is Ivan
all the
coming?
way. Yes, Ivan's with you. They
Good
would
boy.
lead you all the way to the edge of Asgard. Standing over the edge, looking down, you can see the branches and other worlds below you, but you don't see a bridge. Then Heimdall steps forward, takes a horn out. It's almost as tall as he is, and
Where did he
lets
take it
loose.
out of?
It just seemed to come out of his pouch.
But,
If you were watching, it's almost comical.
well, I mean,
Because, he pulled like a 5 foot long horn out of his pouch.
I'd laugh. I'm gonna laugh.
Well, he'd blow one long note on it, and then Thor would motion you to step forward into what looks like nothing.
That freaks me.
I'm all over
Well,
that.
might as well.
Walking out there.
Here we go.
Do it.
Alright, so you take a step out into thin air, and suddenly you feel yourself moving forward at a rapid pace. All around you are bright colors and fire.
Pretty.
I
After
would continue to sit and drink mead while
Well,
enjoying my.
you would watch Sen step forward and disappear.
No. While I'm going through the thing,
Oh, while you're going
walk
through
into
the
the
thing.
thing, drink mead, and say wee.
Oh, well, you would
Right,
have time
as you
to.
watch me disappear.
Yeah.
None of you could see each other while you're traveling the bridge, so yeah, you would all appear to disappear.
How can we appear to disappear?
You have to see.
Depends on the perspective of the person watching.
No, you can't appear to disappear. That's an
Yes, you
oxymoron.
can. No, because you're looking at the person, and it appears as if they're disappearing, but they're in fact
But they
still
can't
there.
appear and disappear at the same
Oh my,
time. Something
yes,
can't
you can,
appear to
because
be
it's a
disappearing.
realization. It's not the act of actually seeing it; it's the realization of
Wow.
thinking it's happening.
Sidetrack.
Sorry, psychology. Anyway.
I know.
Alright, session 4, we battle grammar Nazis.
The battle with the grammar.
Anyway, so we all disappear into the rainbow.
Yes. And as you travel rapidly, you see colors and fire, and you feel warmth, but nothing is burning you. After what seems like a long time, but surely not a lot of time has passed, you appear on a great long plain that stretches into the distance, but it looks like it's just one long plane of fractured glass.
Exactly what I am.
Is the ground actually glass?
No, I think it just appears to.
It's smooth, and as you push on it, you can hear it cracking a little bit under your feet.
Oh, so it's
Wow.
like broken glass put together like a puzzle. Cracks, like cracked ice.
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking like shards sticking up everywhere.
That's awesome.
No, it's flat and stretching off into the horizon as far as you can see.
Well, that's awesome.
See any doors or gates or anything?
As far as the eye can see.
Yes, as far as the eye can see.
Well, that doesn't mean there's not randomly a door in the middle of it. Just saying.
Well, give me a perception roll.
Are we all doing a perception roll?
Yes. Might as well.
Anybody? Everybody?
All of them.
90.
My thing is being done. Why is it? How did it get over here? What are you doing? It's my thing's gone off lucky. Give me 1 second. $65. Can't.
All right, you all notice that off to your west, or rather your left of your facing,
Left of west coming in the hurry with their furies.
there's something off in the distance glittering.
That could be the mist. I think.
Glittering?
Want to send one of your birds to figure that out?
I can send my bird to go check it out. I will send my raven in that general direction to go check it out.
For some reason, I forgot what y'all were doing. I just heard I'm gonna send my bird, and I was thinking, Josh, did you take one of our birds home with you?
Take
Josh,
one of your what?
can you take one of our birds home with you?
No.
What?
That's not what I said, Nick.
Lisa said, I forgot what you all were doing
For a
and
second.
for a second, and all I heard was Josh saying, I'm sending my bird out. And she thought that, for a second, she thought you might have taken a bird home with you.
No, I did not. I did not take
Um,
your birds.
So while Josh sends his bird, I'm gonna send my spider out to test the I guess the fragile state of the glass to see if it cracks more when you step on it.
Okay. So the glass does indeed crack underneath even your spider's feet, but it looks like under the glass is mostly sand.
Oh, so if it breaks, it's just
Oh.
on sand.
Yes, if it breaks, you would just be stepping in sand.
But like, I hate the way you said that.
I hate the way you said that. Jesus.
Because it was very
Apparently Nick has two
implying
wives.
of danger, like very sneaky. He wants me to
What?
believe it's just sand.
No. It looks like okay. It means that it was heated. Glass is technically a liquid. If there's sand underneath it, it means that
So
the
what is?
surface of it was superheated, which is bad.
I would love to understand why that's bad, and I'm sorry that makes me sound stupid, but please.
Okay, so if everything is covered in glass
Yes.
and underneath it is sand, that means that everything was superheated to several hundred degrees.
Oh, so there's gonna be something really, really hot. Gotcha. Heard that.
It was me. Stop making jokes. I'm over here being funny, no one's laughing.
Sorry, I
Bullshit.
wasn't
no,
sure if that was a
I
joke.
just you made me understand what that meant.
But then he was implying that he was the hot one that made it, Yeah,
Thank you,
anyway.
Safi.
Oh,
Thank
when
you.
you said it was me. See,
Yeah.
I was sorry. I wasn't thinking sexual. I was thinking like cool powers,
I mean,
which is really cool too.
guess that's cool too. But Jesus, I made a joke, and
I mean, I just thought it was funny in a different
no,
way.
it's fine. No, it's fine. Nobody laughed. It's fine. We're getting distracted. Let's move on. So, Conrad, what has my bird discovered?
So, as your bird flies towards the glinting object, it discovers that it's some sort of glass orb just sat on top of the plane.
Else around? Is that it? It's just a glass orb?
Yep.
Glass.
Does it detect magic or psionics?
It does. Your bird would easily detect and see magic emanating from it. And in fact, it's not hard to see because there's magic emanating from the entire plane.
Oh, well then, I guess that thing looks interesting. We should head towards it. Or actually, we could just all teleport there. Does everyone just want to teleport to the mystical orb thing
Excuse me.
that's made of magic?
Sure.
Safi?
Sure.
Alright, we're gonna teleport to the mystical orb thing made of magic.
I mean, I had a great description for walking over the glass, but sure, screw all that.
I mean,
Let's
I
teleport.
sent my
Well, that's
spider
what you.
out.
I mean,
Could have used that description.
we can walk on the glass when we get there, but fine.
It's true.
We're gonna teleport there instead, because that's quicker. Also, fuck you.
All right, so you all appear in front of the orb. The orb is about 12 feet high and perfectly spherical. There doesn't appear to be any cracks or any dents or divots. It's perfectly smooth. However, and who's looking looking at the orb and who's touching the orb?
I'm just looking at it. I am not touching
I haven't touched nothing. What do you mean touching? Like, we just teleported there. You're the one talking about touching stuff here.
All right.
I'll
So
go-
who's looking directly at the orb?
No, I'm just looking around it. I don't look anything directly because that could be bad.
I'm
I
looking
mean,
at
I'll
it.
look at it. I'll look
I'm
at it.
looking at it.
I'll have
Okay.
a fucking staring contest with it.
Give me a perception, Raggle.
Okay. I will perceive the fuck out of this. That is the wrong button. 125, son.
Nice.
All right.
Roll the
You see
fuck out of it.
you see a dim reflection which looks kind of like you, but you're not quite sure exactly what that is.
It's a reflection that looks kind of like,
It's moving with you. It's matching all of your moves,
but does
and
it actually look like?
it's a little blurry, but it's got the same color scheme. It looks like a blurry reflection of you.
I give it the middle finger. What does it do?
It gives you the middle finger.
Is it the same finger? Same hand?
It is not.
Okay.
It's the reflected hand.
I'm just gonna say that I don't think Raggles should be looking directly into it. That's not a good idea, dude. You don't
Right,
know
maybe I
what that
should
thing's
lick
gonna do.
it.
No, what? That is, I mean, something you could do. I was.
I'm gonna touch it.
Safi's gonna touch it.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Safi?
take a few steps back.
Give me a perception.
$114.
Okay. As you walk towards the orb and raise your hand to touch the blurry reflection, right before your hand would brush against the sphere, your blurry reflection would snap into sharp focus, and for an instant, you think you can see directly through your eyes into what appears to be a gaping chasm of nothingness. Everything would go black for you, and then you would become conscious again. Everything's dark, and all you can hear is the dripping of water somewhere off in the distance. Oh, and Safi disappears as soon as she touches the sphere.
See, no one listens to me. No one. I told you guys it was a bad idea.
I listened
to
to
look
you.
At
I
this thing.
didn't do it. I didn't lick it. I did not lick it. You said it was a bad idea, and I didn't
It
lick
was. Okay, you're right, and I appreciate that because look what happened to Safi. We're fucked.
Well, we're not fucked. You know, Safi's just disappeared a little bit,
We're
and
gonna
we have
touch
to.
the thing. Great.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
Safi.
hey, can you possibly attach? You have like that little crystal icing thingamajig
Yeah.
to my wolf, and can my wolf do what Safi just did? That a thing? Look into the
Yeah.
orb, and we can find out where the wolf goes.
Yeah.
I
Cool.
mean, I think I have a better
Or-
idea. I'm gonna
okay.
I'm going to use a different crystal. I'm gonna summon one and attach it to your wolf, and then I'm going to attach the psi crystal to you. That way, I can. The one I'm attaching to the wolf doesn't quite have the same range.
Hold on, Josh. I
But,
need
yeah.
to
Oh.
ask a rule question for you, but I'm going to do it through Messenger.
Okay.
As soon as Messenger loads.
Maybe I should send my my boar, because my wolf can do a lot better stuff if he actually dies or wherever the fuck he goes. So I'm gonna use my boar instead.
Sounds poor. You mean I can't connect to the internet? I'm connected to the internet. I'm fucking talking over the
I
internet,
can
you
hear
piece
you.
of shit. It's so dumb. Like, you can't connect to the internet. Like, yes, I am, actually. I'm waiting, comrade. Waiting a long time here. Oh, I realized I misspelled door in one of these. It does not have 6 O's. Thank you, me.
think I know the answer to this, but I just wanted to double check.
No, stupid thing.
Yeah, sorry, I just, before people start really experimenting with their stuff, I want to make sure that everybody.
What?
It's all good.
That's not a complete sentence, Conrad. I want you to understand that.
No, I got the gist of it.
Okay.
Okay, so you would then, well, at least now, you would suddenly realize what enchantments are on the sphere.
Okay.
So, Josh, you would know that the sphere will not only teleport, but it's got the same principles as the it's got similar principles to the lens that you're carrying.
Oh. So is it like
Additionally, it will literally dispel any shadows. Something you would notice at this point is that the sphere is casting no shadow.
interesting? Doesn't have a shadow.
I mean, should we try to use our little Lindsay thing on it? See if it anything?
I mean, yeah.
Or
let me-
continue with our plan before. I mean, at
No,
least check, right?
I'm gonna look at it through the lens thing. After I've given my made little crystals and given one to the
Bore.
boar and then given my psi crystal to Sin.
Okay?
The little crystal I made functions sort of like my psi crystal, but it's not sentient. It doesn't do anything. It's literally just like a functions sort of like a focus object.
Mm-hmm.
I can cast spells on it, sort of like you could like a one-time use kind of thing, or I can
Yeah.
use it for this purpose. Like, yeah.
Okay.
So
So you're looking at the sphere through the lens,
yes,
and you've attached crystals to Sin's shadow creatures and sent them up to the sphere.
Mm-hmm.
sure, go with that.
Okay? Have they? What are
My
you?
my boar, to be exact. My boar.
Okay. What?
I just figured that he could go look into the crystal like Safi did and possibly touch it and see what happens.
Okay, I want Rags and Sen to give me initiative because I need to know who did what first.
Isn't initiative already figured out?
Yeah, it's a so
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I keep forgetting that. Tell me your initiatives because I don't have it written down.
mine is 88 now.
What is initiative again?
It's intelligence and dexterity.
Oh, mine's still 7.
Okay.
What is it?
Mine is
70?
88 versus 70.
70.
Mine's 85 in case you need it.
Mine is slightly better than Sefefa.
Okay. Then, Rags, Before her shadow creature touches the orb, as you look through the lens, not only do you notice the reason why it has no shadow is that all of the light emanating on the entire plane seems to be coming from this orb and is then being reflected off of the sky, which at this point you can see the sky is not actually a sky, it's a giant mirror.
So we're in a giant mirror.
And the sphere itself is emanating a weird light that you can tell dispels all shadows.
Fucking suck. But can you use the little Lindsay thing on it, or the the thing they gave us?
Yeah, that's what I looked at it through.
Oh, gotcha.
But I mean, I guess all I learned was that.
Oh, I'm sorry. And you also see it's kind of like a rotating door.
A revolving door.
It's not a revolving door. It's a door that appears to be spinning really, really fast, like at 75,000 RPM. You can just barely make out that it's a door. It's just spinning really fast.
So are we gonna send my boar to see where Safi went?
Interesting. We could. Hold on. I think I have a spell for this. No. I really wish I had organized this better.
Just send my boar to see what happens. See
I mean,
where he goes.
It's your boar. You can do what you like with it.
Right. Send my boar to see what happens.
Well, you send your boar. I'm not sending your boar.
I am telling our DM to send my boar to see what happens.
Okay. Doesn't your boar come out of a shadow?
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it a creature of a shadow?
So
Isn't she casting a shadow?
Well,
No.
I'm just establishing that the boar is a shadow creature.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Like, yes, like I can't deny because that's what I set up at the beginning. I'm not gonna like change the rules. Yeah, that's what they come out of the
moment
shadows.
the boar touches the sphere, it's dispelled.
Because it can't go in there, so we can't figure out with my boar where it goes.
Well, you don't have the boar anymore. It just got dispelled.
Right. That's why I did not use my.
Yep. Got That.
Well, I guess the only thing we could do is follow Safi. What does Ivan want to do? Because he's all badass.
No,
So-
Ivan's been carefully looking at the sphere this whole time, and he'd look up and he'd say, "Why don't we just smash it?"
Well,
You just
didn't
wanna-
Safi go
well,
inside of it?
And it might be a door.
Well, if it's a spinning door, and if it's the thing that's getting rid of all the shadows, there's a chance it's the light we're looking for.
Exactly.
So we probably need it. But if it's not guarded, and we can't touch it,
I mean, we could touch it and see what happens to us, like Safi, but
Safi, by the way, you are capable of taking actions right now. You're just sitting in a dark room listening to water drip.
Oh, I thought we were doing their stuff first.
I mean, I already tried my thing.
I mean,
There's not a whole lot I could do except attack it right now, because the only way I can investigate it is through shadows.
So I'm
I
gonna look
don't.
around the room and see. I mean, can I see things? Is there ambient light?
As your eyes begin to adjust, you can sort of make out a very dull outline of where you're in. It's a small, cramped room, not much bigger than a closet.
Okay, but the sphere's not still behind me or anything. I can't see anything related to how I got in the room anymore.
Nope, you appear to be in an entirely different place.
Can I just try to scry where Safi is?
Well, I'm gonna look. See, can I see a door?
You can sort of see what might be a door in front of you. There is a kind of a rectangular shape in the darkness. You don't. There's no light, so it's all. Wait, can you see in the dark?
I don't know.
I don't think that was
No.
one of your abilities.
It's not.
I mean, so I guess if I go in there and I just take this chance to possibly die in this room with Safi,
Maybe.
if I get teleported to the same room, I can turn into shadow power and just figure out.
I do have the ability to detect hidden doors, traps, and treasures, so I'm gonna
We can
use
meet
that.
up in an hour anyways to give him more medicine.
What? What?
Okay, Josh, you said you were trying to scry.
Yeah, I'm gonna scry with Seth.
Okay, give me a roll for that.
Hey, what is my right thing? That is the wrong thing. I rolled 68.
All right. Quick question about psionic damage. Is that just the normal random number generator?
It depends on the effect and also what you're attempting to do, because that wasn't a psionic ability.
Oh, okay. I thought it was.
No. That, scrying is magic.
Okay. So, as you attempt to get a sense of where Safi is, suddenly the image, as you start to see a dark room, and
Mhm.
just before you can think you can make out Safi, the image in your mind is shattered into millions of different pieces, the force of which actually physically feels painful.
Okay. Well, that's fun.
Damn.
Well then.
So I'm gonna use my ability to detect doors,
There
traps,
is a
and stuff.
there is a door in front of you, about 3 feet in front of you.
No traps or anything around it.
There are no traps on the door.
Well,
Okay.
I guess.
I'll open the door.
Okay.
So technically, she's all doing this and can't see what she's doing, except maybe Raggles can. He just feels pain while he gets a sense of it.
Well,
Safi, I have a question that I can't remember the answer to. Have I at any point used any spells on or ability?
On me?
Yes.
Didn't you boost my damage once?
I don't think. No, I don't think that was me.
Oh no, that was
Yeah, that was what's it?
Bjornum.
Yeah, T Bjornum. So I haven't.
Not that I recall.
Balls. Okay, never mind then.
okay. Safi, as you open the door, suddenly there is light everywhere, and you see an infinite number of yourself extending into the distance, reflected off of just hallways of mirrors. There are 3 of them going away from you. One directly in front of you, one at a 45-degree angle to your right, and one at a 45-degree angle to your left.
And I only see reflections of myself in the mirror. There's no other.
You only see yourself right now. Behind you, the door has disappeared and been replaced with another mirror.
I didn't walk out. I said I opened the door.
Right.
So I should still be in the room.
And the room is gone.
And now there's a mirror.
So even though I didn't physically leave the room, it kicked me out of it?
Yes.
Magic.
Either that or the room was never there to begin with.
So,
Ivan would get impatient at this point, and he would walk forward.
Well, wait, before he does that,
Please don't smash it yet.
I'm gonna hand him one of my another one of I'm gonna make another crystal and then hand it to him and tell him to keep that on him at all times.
Okay. He'd put the crystal in his pouch, nod at you, and hit the sphere with his axe.
Great.
All right then. What happens?
There would be a flash of light, and Ivan would disappear.
Oh fuck.
What happened to the
Can I see where he is?
orb?
You can, but you can't make anything out unless you can see in the dark.
Yeah.
You
What
can see in
happened
the
to
dark?
the
I,
orb?
no, remember I have that touch sensibility, and I can see in the dark, and I can see magic and psionic.
All right.
The
So
touch sight,
all around
basically, I
Ivan.
could see physical things within 60.
All right. So all around Ivan is basically just kind of this magical aura reflecting off of other magical auras. It's kind of confusing and it's hard to get your head around, but it's a hallway of mirrors for magic and enchantments. Everything is
Oh.
being reflected off of everything else. And the only thing that's not being reflected is Ivan.
Huh.
Interesting. But then Safi's being reflected everywhere.
Yes, she is.
Sapphi's magic. Ivan is not. I should stay the fuck out of that. That would be bad. Okay. So,
Wait, what happened to the orb though when he smashed it? Like, I know he
he never
disappeared.
did. He swung his axe at
He
it.
hit it.
Oh,
There was a flash
well,
of
yeah,
light.
gotcha.
It's
And
very,
so
very
nothing
frightening.
happened. It's still sitting there, unarmed. See,
Sin,
man,
Sin, give
it's
me
not.
a perception.
Who?
Sin.
Okay. 114.
You notice that Ivan's axe never actually touched the orb. He was gone before he hit it.
This is bad news bears, man. I don't like
Yeah.
this. I don't like just disappearing into the orb. Do I see anything else around me? Like, since we went this far distance, since I can see as far as my eye goes, can I see anything else around us besides this ridiculous orb?
Well, as you look around, you see, of course, the glass floor extending off into the distance. You now recognize the mirror, the mirrored sky reflecting the floor back at you, and not much else.
How far is the mirrored sky?
You can't really judge the distance,
Could I
but
shoot it with an arrow?
I guess you could try.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
try
know
and
how
shoot it with an
far
arrow.
you can shoot an arrow.
I mean, pretty far? I mean, as far as a normal arrow would travel?
Oh, well, then you're not going to be able to hit it with an arrow then. It's farther up than that.
Oh, well then.
It's
All right,
miles up, at least.
I'm
Well,
gonna
it seems
spend
like this is the
my
entrance to this ridiculous maze that we have to go through.
Well, I'm gonna use one of my psionic abilities and create an astral construct, which basically it's just a little ectoplasmic construct thing I can make. And
Does it have a physical manifestation of itself?
yeah, it's a physical manifestation.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna have it touch the thing and see what happens.
Okay, so it's a psionic creature with a physical manifestation, and it touches the orb.
Yes.
Okay, it would disappear, and you're able to still, of course, see it, right?
Well, yeah. I'm
Right, so-
psionically linked to it.
Raggle's creature. So, again, much like Ivan, it's in a small room.
Uh-huh.
There is magic and enchantments reflecting off of everything, including it. And itself is being propagated throughout all the reflections.
Got it. So it reflects all magic thing. How does it appear when it does that? What is it? Does it appear as itself? Or
It
what is it?
appears as an infinite number of itselves. It's not just being reflected, it is being duplicated.
Duplicated?
Hmm.
So it's making like more physical manifestations.
I'm going to use an ability to modify it and have it conceal itself and make itself invisible. I want to see what happens.
Okay. So it becomes invisible.
Mm-hmm.
All of the reflections of it do not.
Aha. All right then. I'm gonna unsummon.
Oh no, I had a question.
Why? Okay, wait. Before that happens, say your thing.
I mean, if it's in there, I know it's a shit ton of mirrors, but are there shadows? Like, it's really dark, right, in there?
Oh yeah. Does it see any shadows?
From its point of view, it's pitch black.
Oh,
So
that's
everything.
fantastic.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so, well, I guess this is probably the entrance to that ridiculous maze, and I'm gonna have to go in there, because if it's dark, then I can smoke screen as soon as I go in there and be the shadow.
Yep. And she's got my crystal with her, so I can keep track
Yeah,
of her. And
so,
I'm absolutely not
fuck it.
going in there.
Fuck it, here I go.
And I'm gonna use my ability to detect doors, traps, etc.
Okay.
Inf-
Sin, you end up in a dark room.
Smoke screen.
You
Yeah,
cast smoke screen. Okay. And it's still dark unless you have some form of night vision. You can't see anything yet. Safi, you cast detect doors, detect traps, and you don't detect anything.
Oh.
Then I'm gonna send my bird into one of the mirrors.
Like into the mirror?
Uh-huh.
It will.
Okay. So the bird flies into the mirror. And, well, it takes 8 damage from flying into a solid mirror, and you take 8 damage as it flies into a reflection of you.
Oh. That's interesting.
Contemplating what I can do while I'm in this room.
Come on. Hold on. I want to use an ability I have called object reading, which allows me to use my psionic abilities to read an object's past.
Okay.
I want to use it on the area around me.
The area around you?
Yes.
How far back
Around
does
the
it go?
it doesn't specify, but it does specify that the further back things go, the harder it is to read unless they were like particularly powerful things. So like insignificant things would disappear very quickly, more significant things would stick around
Okay.
for longer.
Does this include millions of years?
It can, depending on the significance. Something that could scar the land and turn it into glass and mirrors would probably leave a significant imprint.
Okay. Give me a perception to figure out what you are seeing.
Come on, do it. 75.
Just high enough. So, as you're looking back into the past and you're seeing just glass,
Mhm.
and the occasional movement, you see the occasional humanoid show up and almost instantly disappear. You get back to several million years in the past, and all of a sudden, everything you see fire explode out of the ground, and the glass turns back into sand. The orb turns into dust and blows away, and tentacles are withdrawing from the entire world up into the mirror, and the mirror itself is turning back into what looks like a giant kraken, and then it disappears into space.
Okay. That's interesting. I don't know what to do with
Does
that.
that help us in this situation?
Well, I mean, apparently there's a space kraken.
Yeah, who turned everything into glass when it got here?
Yeah. Is it the same Kraken that Safi killed?
Safi killed a kraken?
Yeah, that's her character's thing. That's how she got her powers.
My
Oh.
Kraken from another dimension.
It is not. I assume that the one that Safi killed is dead.
Well, I mean,
So I don't think it's the
Well,
same kraken.
Parallel
We'll find
dimensions,
out.
you just never know.
well,
It might be the cousins, brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts,
I'm gonna
grandmother's kraken.
I have an ability that allows me to get clarity, which can disable devices, sleight of hand, and so on and so forth.
Okay, so you're going to attempt to get clarity in what way?
I'll be right back. I'm gonna run it.
To determine the nature of the traps and how they work, the mirrors, to try and find a way to disable them.
Okay. So you use clarity, and it becomes clear to you that the mirrors are not just reflections. They are physical manifestations of you that are linked inexorably back to your essence, spirit or soul, or whatever you want to call it. They are you in every way except what makes you a living being.
I don't know what I can do in this room. If
So
I'm just shown out, I could send out a companion, but then it's gonna make multiple of that companion. And I
Okay, I'm
don't
back.
know.
What did I miss?
So if I change to mist and try and go past the mirrors, because there's got to be gaps between the mirrors.
There don't have to be gaps.
Well, you said they're at angles.
Yeah.
That implies a gap between.
Nope.
What
They're
about
not.
underneath?
They're not sheets of mirror stood up in a hall. It's a mirrored. The walls are made of mirror.
So there's no gaps.
No, there are no. The whole thing is airtight.
Even the floor.
I mean, the floor is also the mirror.
Oh, the floor's a mirror too.
Yes, floor, ceiling, walls,
Oh, because you
everything.
just said I saw 3 mirrors in front of me and then one behind me, so that's why I'm confused right now.
Oh, my mistake. I forgot about the floors and ceilings being mirrors as well.
Well, I feel like I can't just walk around blindly because that freaks me out. But I could try to escape technically because my new level came with new ability. But I don't know if
Have
I
you
can.
tried opening the door yet?
I thought I couldn't see anything.
Well, you can't, but as your vision adjusts, you get the dim impression of a door in front of you.
Of the same door. Oh yeah. Well, then I will walk that door.
Okay, as you open the door, you find yourself standing in a hallway with three options.
Still in smoke screen, right?
Yes, you're still in
Okay.
smoke screen. The door behind you has disappeared, and everything in the hallway is muted. There are absolutely no reflections, and there are absolutely no shadows. You don't know where the light is coming from, but everything is very well lit.
How about I sent you a message, by
But
the
did
way?
she
And
ask?
it just popped
So
up on
the
the screen.
walls and stuff aren't mirrors for me. It's just
Right.
nothing.
You don't see any mirrors at all. Everything
I think
around
next
you is
time I'm just gonna
actually muted.
text you. I'll just text you next time.
Yeah, I don't know why my computer insists on showing
Literally
everything.
displaying everything. Oh, that's great.
So if I take a couple steps forward, does it make like a noise? Does it feel like there's a floor under me, or is it just like a white void?
You can hear your own footsteps, but you hear no echoes.
Interesting.
Comrade, there
And
was
can I
more than
do?
one. Go ahead.
I was just asking if I can do a perception roll to just look around even further somehow. I don't know. See if I
Okay.
see anything.
Peering down the 3 hallways, you see that they all meet at T intersections.
Ugh. Pick one. I'm gonna send my spider. There's 3, so 1 in front, 1 left. So I'm gonna send my spider, I guess, down the one in front of me. See what's at the end of that tunnel to the left. Not tunnel, I guess. Hallway to the left and right.
Okay. So, where are you getting a shadow to summon your spider?
God damn it. You and your god light.
No,
Well,
it's
then I'm gonna.
possible. You just have to figure out where the shadow is.
Right, exactly. But it's not a hallway, and you said there appears to be shadows, but like, where's the lake? Oh. What did I miss?
Comrade, your answer is still very confusing.
Okay. To the first one, no.
Okay.
To the second one, yes.
Okay. The first question was not a yes or no question. Read it and then send me an answer.
Oh. Oh, okay. I thought the or was like, is it this or this? Yes or no?
I think I know my answer. If that's.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So, like, there has to be a shadow like under my shirt or something, or like if I cup my hands together, there's gonna be shadow no matter what, because it's gonna block light from entering. So I'm gonna summon my spider from the shadow that my hands make when I cup them together.
All right. So you cup your hands together, and you can, and your spider appears.
And then walks down that hallway in the front to see what's going on at the.
In the middle?
Yeah. Middle hall.
Okay. So as your spider gets to the end of the hallway, it can see it extending in both directions to the right and left. And both of them kind of disappear into dimness. There's no light at the end of these halls.
Okay. Can I just send him to check the left and not, man, like come back to me and then check the next main hallway down?
Okay. As your spider rounds the corner and disappears out of your vision, the spider's form fails to stay and it disappears. You can feel it come back to you.
Disappear.
Yes,
Not
it
like.
disappears and returns to you.
So I still have the ability to like resummon him and send him down the last hallway?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So, searching all 3 hallways, you see that at the end of all 3 hallways looks almost exactly the same, no matter which hallway you go down. Well, they do look exactly the same. At the end of the hallway, it extends to the right and left. After a certain point, there's no more light.
I'm gonna, when you're done doing your thing, I'm gonna send my raven in and have him float around and do stuff.
Okay, so your raven is going into the sphere?
Yes.
Okay, so your raven is in a pitch black area, but you can see it in the dark, so you can see that there's a door directly in front of your raven.
Alright, it's gonna open the door.
Okay, so as it opens the door, all it sees are hallways of barbs.
Barbs?
Yes, like kind of like fish hooks, but organic.
Interesting.
And it's just lining the floors, the ceiling, the walls.
Well,
That's a good thing
it's
he
a
can
good thing it fly. Yeah.
Hmm. Everything about this is kind of creaking and groaning. You know, it sounds like you're in a Sounds like you're in a gigantic briar patch.
Interesting. Well, I guess. What directions can I go?
You can go straight forward,
Mm-hmm.
to the right, or to the left.
Well, I guess to the left.
Okay. So you've gone to the left. Sappy, have you
Yeah.
gone anywhere yet?
You told me I was in a room of mirrors.
You did
Well,
tell us she was in a room full of mirrors.
Well, no, I said there were 3 hallways.
No.
I
You
clearly
there-
said there were 3 hallways. Everybody's in
you
a
said there were three
in
mirrors.
an area with 3 hallways, one extending forward, one extending 45 degrees to the right, and one extending 45 degrees to the left.
You didn't originally, but okay.
I did. I'm recording. We can go back.
To the USSR? Oh,
Yes.
I see.
Anyway, so everybody is standing in the same configuration.
My spider is like still chilling at the end of that right hallway, looking
Okay?
down. So I'm gonna send him to. It's such a hard decision. Going down the right main hallway and then sending him, I guess, to the right again.
Okay. As soon as he rounds the corner, he comes back to you.
Oh, okay. So then send him down again and send him to the left this time.
Again, as soon as he's out of your sight, he comes back to you.
Ugh. Same if he does it down the main hallway, down the middle.
It doesn't matter which hallway you send him down. As soon as you lose sight of him, he comes back to you.
What if he goes up?
Then he's on the ceiling.
Oh, so there's like a ceiling.
Yeah.
It's like a void for me, so I feel like I wouldn't be able to tell if there's a ceiling. I don't want to go down the hallway. I'm just gonna come back where I came from. Is there anything behind me? There's nothing.
There's-
No door or anything.
There's a wall behind you. The door is gone.
My wolf smell anything? I don't know what he would smell, but
Well, your wolf would smell the absence of smells. Save for you and the wolf, there are no other smells. It can't even smell the material that the hallways are made out of.
well, does anyone else want to make a move on their room? Because I'm just gonna stand there for a sec and contemplate what I should do. Because I don't want to just keep going in circles.
Josh, as your raven goes down the left hallway,
Mm-hmm.
when it gets to the end, the hallway extends to the right and left,
Mm-hmm.
and at a certain point, it goes completely dark, and you can't see anything past that point in either direction.
Okay. So I guess to wait 1 second.
I'm gonna leave a cup of soup on the ground,
Oh, that's
Okay.
smart.
and then I'm gonna go down the right hallway.
The right hallway. Got it. Okay. Getting to the end of the right hallway, you look to your left and right, and the mirrors continue in either direction until a certain point it gets too dark to see.
So I guess you said I came to a left and a right hall. What were my options again?
3, left, right, and center.
Yep, your first options were three options: straight ahead, left, or right. You went left. At the end of the
Okay.
left are 2 options: right or left. Either option, you can't see past a certain point. It gets too dark.
I'll go right.
Okay? You keep walking until it gets too dark.
I don't walk anywhere. It's my raven.
Oh, right. Your raven
I'm not going
flies.
in there. I'm
Your
outside.
raven flies until it's surrounded in darkness, and a moment later it comes back out into its original starting position in the hallways.
What did it sense when it went through the surrounded by darkness?
It sensed like a reset.
Okay,
Something was being reset.
so I went left, and then this time I'll go left and then left again.
Okay? The same thing would happen.
Okay, well, I won't go left. I will go straight this
All right.
time.
Safi, you said you're standing in the right hallway?
Yes.
Okay, Sin, have you moved yet?
No. Do you want me to move?
Yes.
Damn it.
I know I made the dungeon to be scary, but you don't really have to be petrified in fear yet.
The unknown freaks me out. I guess you said
It's an
Safi's down the
unknown.
right.
I took the right hallway.
Took the right, and Rags took the middle. Well, the bird took the middle.
Uh-huh.
I guess
not going.
I'm gonna let my spider lay a web where I'm at, kind of like Safi left some soup, and then I'll go down the left hallway.
To the left hallway. Got it.
The left hallway.
Isn't that Ivan?
Yep, you just moved, Ivan.
Yeah. No, Ivan's moving on his own. He's doing his own thing.
What is
Okay,
Ivan doing?
Pretty much
gonna
the same thing you guys are doing right now.
No. I'm literally asking.
Oh,
I'm sending
how
him
did
a message.
I'm so
Oh,
blind.
right. He's got
Psychic
the
message.
crystal.
Letters on the
Yup.
screen, guys.
Psychic message. What is Ivan doing? Hey, Ivan.
Ivan is exploring the right hallway now. He's explored the left and the center and has run into the same problem as the Raven. His hallways are very spongy. It's hard for him to move. It's like walking on gack.
Sludge.
Ew. That's
Gross.
disgusting.
He thinks it's disgusting too, but you know, what's
Hey,
he gonna
comrade, can you do me a favor?
do? Mm-hmm.
Can you make the font of the letters bigger?
Sure. Sorry about that.
It's okay, thank you.
She's a little blind.
Just a little bit.
Okay, I'm going to take another right after putting a cup of soup in that T-junction.
Okay. You find yourself standing over your original cup of soup. If you look down the right, you can see another cup of soup. Give me a
Now
perception, Sappy.
Perception
No.
is intelligence plus.
No, perception is perception. You just roll perception plus your perception.
Actually, don't
Okay.
bother. This would be very noticeable. Your cup is not showing up in any of the reflections.
Because your cup is not magic.
Uh-huh.
So you could like leave a trail of soup.
And my other cup is still there.
All right. Rags, you're in the right hallway, right?
No, he's
No,
in
I
the
went
middle.
center.
Okay,
Right.
you're in the center. Okay.
Safi went down the
And
right.
it's my raven.
Gotta make that adjustment. So your Raven is in the center. Sin, you're in the left.
Yep.
Rags, you can see that Ivan is in the right hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Safi, you're back in the junction.
Wait, my raven can actually see Ivan, or I can?
No, you're seeing.
No,
through...
Ivan's got the gem that you
Okay.
gave him.
And so does Sin has one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't think
So
I
then
gave
you
one to Safi.
Nope.
Okay, so you can see Sin in the left hallway, Ivan in the right hallway, and your Raven in the center hallway.
Safi see.
I'm gonna go down the center.
Okay.
I'm gonna send a telepathic message to Sin to ask her what she's doing, or what her progress is. I'm gonna try and coordinate from the outside.
Safi, Give me a perception check now.
Proceed your checks.
33.
33.
Ah.
You're not quite sure, but you thought you heard the flapping of wings as you walked down the center hallway.
Okay.
Which is probably Rag's Raven.
Yeah.
And there's no way for me to tell you all that I think we all need to do the same thing.
Well, Rags is is messaging me via telepathy to tell me that where the Raven is. So I guess I'll go down the middle hallway because he asked me what I was up to, and I was like, "Oh, I went down this middle hallway." And he's probably like, "Oh, you should go down the other hallway where my bird is."
Is that what you guys are doing?
But I mean, that's what I've decided to do because I'm
Okay.
assuming that that's what Rags told me, and he did not confirm nor deny it. So
Rags, give me a perception for your raven.
Perception, Raven perceptions. So if I click the right button, 109. That one.
nice.
Oh,
Nice.
so as your raven flies down the center hallway and kind of hovers there, it sees that the tips of the barbs have become reflective, and it can see parts of Safi being reflected in the barbs. As Sin moves into the hallway, you can see what looks like another person who looks like Sin standing next to Safi.
So
Safi, you kind of feel a presence near you.
so they can't see each other, but I can.
Yeah.
So
And
I
Sin,
can
your wolf and spider can now detect Safi and Rag's Raven
can my Raven actually see Safi
through the reflections.
through the reflect? But do I have line of sight on her? Do I
No.
have the ability to know where she is?
It doesn't count as line of sight.
Damn.
So at the end of the center hallway, what happens? Does it go straight ahead and then left right, or does it only go left right?
Well, it looks like the amount of hallway before it gets dark has gotten much further away. So there's more hallway now when you look right or left.
But what about straight ahead where we all are?
Oh,
Can I?
that's just a wall.
Oh,
Yeah, and then
It's
it
a T
tees off.
junction at the end of every hallway.
I'm going to go left.
Right. Rags, just checking. You're relaying all of this to Ivan, right?
I'm relaying to Ivan and Sin through telepathic messages. As soon as I
Okay.
can get close enough to Safi to do the same, I will. I just have to figure out a way to do that.
What message are you sending to Ivan? Are you telling him to come into the center hallway as well? Or are you letting him roam aimlessly still?
I mean, telling him to go to the center hallway. It looks like if we all went the same direction down the center hallway, and we all sort of looked like we went in the correct direction. So I think as long as we all go in the same direction,
It
he
may
might.
not necessarily be the same direction though, because if you're on the certain side, you may need to go the opposite.
Okay. Ivan's
Maybe.
walked into the center hallway,
Mm-hmm.
and behind you, you can almost feel the movement of air as the hallway behind you disappears, leaving you only with two choices, right or left. Both extend off to left turns.
Hmm.
Basically, either way you go, it will go straight down to the end of the hallway, and if you go right, it'll turn left, and if you go left, it'll turn right at a 90-degree angle.
I'm gonna
Go
send my
left.
spider. Wait, that's Safi? I thought that was Rags who was seeing the Raven.
Yeah. I'm seeing through the Raven. I'm also
Okay.
communicating information.
So I'm gonna send my spider in the same direction as the Raven, because so they're kind of walking side by side, but I guess not, because they're in different directions.
Yeah. I guess I'll try to go left.
So you're gonna go? Don't go left and left. Go right and left. feel like that's more progress.
What? No, it goes left then right.
Goes left and right?
Yeah, because if I go left, it'll turn right, correct?
Yeah.
And then if I
Yes.
go right, it turns
Okay.
left. So I want to go
Gotcha.
left and then right.
Gotcha.
So to the left.
Yep, my spider's
Okay.
gonna follow the raven.
So Rags goes left.
Raven
Sin,
goes
you
left.
go left as well?
Well, my spider goes left with the raven. I'm just kind of chilling in the same spot I was in.
Okay.
I want to see
I imagine
What?
you're directing Ivan as well?
Yep.
And
Oh, I'm
Safi?
relaying the information to him.
Okay.
Ivan's free to
Safi?
do whatever the hell he feels like.
Hey, Safi.
What?
What are you doing?
I was the first one who said I went left.
Okay, sorry, I missed that.
Mhm.
Okay. So, as you go left, Rags, Safi, and Ivan can kind of sense each other and a
Mhm.
spider.
Ah, I was right. Maybe.
what? That we all have to go in the same direction?
Mhm.
Well, then I'm gonna just go ahead and follow my spider.
Okay. And now the spider has been replaced with Sin. You all can sense each other's presence. It's as if you're standing in the hallways together, but you are in 4 different places.
Am I able to send a psychic message to Safi?
Yes, at this point you would be able to communicate psychically.
Woohoo! So I send a psychic message to Safi. Let her know that we're all doing the same things now.
Okay?
So we all went left, and then we're gonna turn right.
I guess so. We'll follow it to the end until the next. Well, to the end has a funeral sound,
Well,
so
yeah,
that's
until
probably
there's
not the best.
turn
Yeah,
or
until the. Yeah.
Alright. You all walk in, you all walk in the same directions, taking the same turns, and it starts to feel like no matter which way you turn, so long as you all do it together, you continue to progress through the maze. After what seems like an hour or two of walking, all of you come to a door in front of you. Sen, your door is just a mirror. Safi, your door is the only thing in your area that's not a mirror. And somehow nothing else is reflecting your door. Rags, your raven,
Mm-hmm.
sees kind of this spongy, gooey substance, but it looks like you could fly through it. And Ivan would, of course, see a wall of thorns.
I think that was backward. Ivan had the gooey stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So they're seeing the door of the opposite world. That's why I'm seeing a mirror.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I would go. My raven would fly through it.
Okay?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll see if I can. I don't see any cracks through the door. Do I see any cracks?
Maybe butt crack.
No, it's just like a solid mirror.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
it's
Then
not
never
it's not
mind.
the
Am I
mirror's not
reflected?
no, you're not reflected, just the room behind you or the hallway behind you.
A spider?
No, nothing other than the hallway behind you is being
Gotcha.
reflected.
Well, I'm gonna open the door.
Okay, and Safi, you do the same?
Sure.
Okay, as you step through the mirror, the muted wall, the sludge and the thorns, Ivan and Rags Raven appear in the same area. Sin and Safi, you appear in the same area as well. Not the same area with Ivan and the Raven. You're still separated. Safi, Sin, your hallway appears to be a dim cave. There's stalactites coming from the ceiling and stalagmites growing out of the floor. There's a glow coming from within each one of them, and mushrooms sprouting out of the corners of the hallway. It smells dank. You can hear water dripping off in the distance in front of you, and there's a heat radiating from in front of you, and an orange glow at the end of a very long hallway.
Can we still?
Rags?
Uh-huh.
I was just gonna ask if we could still sense Ivan and Rags.
Yes, you can still sense Ivan and Rags, but they're somewhat more distant now. Rags, your raven, and Ivan are standing in a room that appears to be under the ocean. It's like a glass tube.
Under the sea.
Yeah, it's like a glass tube with a wooden catwalk, kind of.
Uh-huh.
This rickety catwalk that's going down through the ocean and into a cave and underwater. It's like a mountain rising out of the bottom of the seabed. Around
Okay.
you can see sharks, fish, there's seaweed growing up from the seabed just below you. And you're so far down that there's no light from the sun being cast around, but the tube seems to be lit from the floor as the light shines up through the floorboards below you.
Okay. What directions can I go? And I guess my raven is just gonna rest on Ivan's shoulder.
Okay?
Just gonna chill there.
Well, behind you just appears to be endless hallway. In front of you is the mountain. So Ivan just begins walking forward towards the mountain.
I'm gonna send my
Which makes
spider
sense.
forward in our cave.
What'd you say?
I'm gonna send my spider forward in our cave.
Okay. And Rags, what'd you say?
I said that's fine. My raven's just gonna go with him. What does my raven see and sense?
Your raven would no longer sense an enchantment.
Oh.
Wherever you are is just muted. There is no magic.
And is there psionics?
No, it's completely silent in every way.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Well, except for the actual sound of the sea around you.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just head forward.
You said you were sending your spider down?
Yeah.
Okay. So as your spider goes forward, give me a agility roll for it, or dexterity, whichever one it is.
Dexterity. Axterity.
81.
Hold on. I generated the wrong AC there, or DC. Okay. So as the spider is walking forward, one of the smaller mushrooms kind of pops, spewing this vile-looking goo into the air. The spider avoids it, and you can hear it kind of hissing and bubbling on the stone floor.
That sounds horrible.
You should probably not eat one of those.
Yeah, right. Probably not go super near them either. But
Yeah.
I'm just gonna reconfirm that I'm still in a smoke screen. Cause yeah, I don't need any of that touching me.
Yes.
I'm going to continuously hum a song into their minds using my psychic power.
Okay. Heard that.
Okay. Safi, Sin, you hear the song that never ends going over and over and over again in your head.
That's horrible. I hate
Ivan
you.
would start humming it.
Oh, great. Well, here we go.
Oh
I
man,
can't- can't.
I should actually start playing that now.
No, please don't.
So, Sin, Safi, are you actually following the spider, or are you staying
Yeah,
put?
since I'm in smoke screen, I'm just gonna follow the spider.
Do you have your
Okay.
phone?
No, my phone is actually charging.
I'm gonna turn into mist and follow the spider.
Okay. Like a watery mist?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
She's water.
All right. So, after what seems like, again, maybe 15, 20 minutes of walking, not even too long, the cave suddenly comes to an abrupt end, and in front of you is just a large open chasm. Inside the chasm is a pile of sand. The chasm extends upwards into what appears to be sky in a large open mouth of the chasm, and again below is just sand. The walls are smooth but not reflective and appear to be made out of granite. Across the sand dune, you can see Ivan and the Raven. Rags,
Mm-hmm.
you and Ivan walk out of the tube as soon as you enter the mountain. In front of you is a, a chasm that's full of water. Above you, it appears to be Above you, there appears to be a thunderstorm at the top of this chasm, raining more water down into the torrent of water below you. It's slowly spinning like it could be a whirlpool. The walls are mossy and slick. Across the way, you can see Sin and Safi, both in their um, ethereal forms.
Interesting.
Can I have my spider spit a web on the sand to see what happens, what pressure is put on it?
Okay. As soon as the web hits the sand, you hear everything around you begins to rumble and shake. You can see the walls cracking up and down the
Good. I
chasm. The
killed this
sky
guy.
above you turns black, and you can see clouds swirling above like a tornado. The sand itself begins to form as you can see what look like legs coming out of the center of the sand, burrowing, and the sand itself drops into a funnel as a giant worm comes shooting up out of the sand to face you. Rags, you and Ivan see Sin
Giant.
Spider shoot a web into the water. The
Uh-huh.
whirlpool suddenly forms and turns into a giant funnel, and several tentacles from a kraken, shoot out of the water and head towards you.
Tentacles?
Yeah, from a kraken.
Um, my Raven's going to cast Sonic form and literally turn into sound.
Okay. So let me go ahead and get the Kraken's initiative here.
I am gonna go use the restroom for this battle.
Okay. And I'm going to use the restroom before the battle too.
I am going to...
Hold on, let me figure out why it keeps doing that.
doing what? Oh, displaying stuff?
Yeah, freaking displaying
Oh,
that.
you can turn the notifications off.
Oh, how do I do that?
I think, like in
Do I
the
have to go to
settings.
Facebook to do that?
I think you do. I think you have to go to the settings, and then there's a thing about notifications. Here, I can actually... I should probably do it too.
Notifications. All notifications, all sound on. Text notifications are turned
Yeah.
off. Desktop and mobile. Ah, okay.
Yeah. There you
Turn
go.
off. Turn off.
There you go. So now I should be able
Okay,
to see.
send me a test message. Okay, let me close Facebook and then...
Yeah. Yep. Close all the things.
Okay, send one more.
All right.
Alright, it did not pop up on my computer.
Excellent. There you go.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay, sorry. Here. Ow.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Is anyone else back? Safi here?
Oh, other people left. Gotcha.
Safi, are you still here?
Yeah.
Safi?
I
didn't know if
leave.
I didn't know, like everyone left. Except for you and me. So
So
only
not everyone
50% of
left.
the only 50% of the people left. Which is exactly 2.
You're exactly 2.
I'm exactly 1 person.
Mm-mm.
I
Wait,
think
what
Nick
happened?
counts as 2 people, given his height, and you count as half a person, given your height. So I think it
Oh,
evens out. You're like half a person, he's like 1.5.
fine.
Why am I 2 people?
No,
Because you're
you're one
taller
and a
than
half.
What?
And
one
I'm
and
the
a half
other half.
people. Hmm.
Oh, sorry.
What?
Okay, everybody back?
Mm-hmm.
In the USSR?
Okay, so let me just go ahead and get these ordered real fast.
Get what ordered?
Your face.
These.
Ah,
Oops.
why is my face?
There we go.
Why not?
So regular
Ah.
Kraken goes first, then Raggle, Sappy, Sin Kraken, then Sin. Alright. So, Rags, your Raven is in some kind of sonic form?
Currently, yes.
Okay. What does that form appear to look like?
It's literally just sound.
Like,
Oh,
so it
okay.
It's
doesn't
like
So
a
we can-
distortion. It kind of just looks like a distortion of light. It kind of.
Okay, so it can be heard, but not easily seen.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it's non-physical, so you can't be slapped.
Well, I mean, sound is physical, but
It's a waveform. You're not gonna
right.
slap noise.
It can still interact.
Well, yeah.
I'm not, and technically, if you want to get technical, it could be canceled out with an equal and opposite noise.
true.
It's called attenuation. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, the Kraken doesn't do that necessarily. So the Kraken would strike out at Ivan first.
It would strike out at Ivan first, because Ivan's just not into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
God, I keep making jokes and no one's laughing. It's like I'm not funny or something.
What did you say?
It said it strikes out at Ivan, or I was like, yeah, it strikes out at Ivan, but Ivan's not really into that kind of thing. It struck out.
But maybe he is.
Okay,
But it
so
already struck out.
Rags, your Raven sees the tentacle wrap around Ivan's waist. The barbs
Aw.
in each suction cup bite into his torso, piercing his mail in several places. Blood's running down his legs as he's hefted up off the ground and lifted into the air above the whirling pool.
This answers some questions I had earlier that I didn't want to ask. Now I understand. Okay.
Do we see the worm do anything to Ivan? Like, what does that look like from our perspective?
From your perspective, Ivan is standing in the tunnel.
Right, and when the Kraken attacked him, like, We didn't see him go up into the sand or something, or the storm?
No, he looks like he's just standing there with his axe raised.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Okay.
Oh.
The Kraken would then strike at Ivan again. Okay. The second tentacle lashes out at Ivan, but he's able to keep his head about him, and he slaps it away with his axe before it can get a hold of him.
Nice.
Rags, it is now your turn.
Yay! So what is around Sin and Safi on the left side? What is the terrain and everything out around there?
If you're looking at it from your Raven, they're
No,
standing.
from the side crystal.
Okay, from the side crystal that's on Sin, you see a sandy funnel and a giant worm coming out of it, looming towards them. The worm looks like a giant millipede, or a giant centipede with hundreds of legs, long spindly legs, and it's got these, what do you call them? The pincers, but they're jaws.
You literally brought my worst nightmare here.
Oh my god.
Like a giant fucking centipede. Great. Those things are the creepiest thing on the planet.
Oh man. And now, I thought it was those like little drainage grates.
Great. So, now that the scariest thing on the planet has been reborn, and my ultimate fears have come to life.
I'm just nailing the fear factor for this one.
Yeah, on my side. I hate the unknown. Giant. Great.
Okay. So it's just dirt and sand and tentacles?
Yeah, it looks like a giant bug. Oh, you're talking about like the magic
terrain
part
around
of it.
it.
But the terrain
Yeah,
around
well-
it is just sand and granite.
Did you know
Granite.
there's a real
The granite walls.
publisher?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so
Excellent.
sorry, Jackson. Oh my god. Oh, okay.
Wait, say that again.
What?
I just missed some stuff.
Something about Saxon. Oh my god.
I left Saxon outside and came back to the campaign and forgot about
Oh,
it.
you horrible person.
I know, I'm the worst dog mom
Yeah.
ever.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Is it raining too?
Oh
No,
my god.
it is not raining. That
Okay,
would be
so-
really sad.
What about from the side of the Raven?
From the Raven side, the entire chamber is a whirlpool with, you can see the beak of a kraken at the
Mhm.
at the very bottom of the pool, and several
Mhm.
tentacles extending out towards you two. The walls are lined with slippery moss and ooze, and the sky above is just a torrential storm.
So essentially, we still know what happened to Ivan because Rags told us through.
I'm communicating telepathic with all the people.
So, okay. I'm just making sure. I'm making observation before it gets my turn.
Yeah. I'm basically relaying any information through everyone using a telepathic
Cool.
Okay.
bullshit. So my turn. I'm going to make the kraken's the tentacle around the kraken is my raven's gonna make the cast the I can't words, sorry, it's gonna make it slippery and greasy. It's the one that's holding Ivan.
It's already pretty slippery, but okay.
Well, it's now magic with extra slippery greasy shit, so
It's slickery.
slickery
It is slipperier.
slipperier.
Slickery.
Yes.
Okay.
And then yeah, that's that. I have to send you a message.
Is there a roll associated with that?
With the slipperiness,
Yeah, with this spell.
I mean, kind of just makes it slippery. It doesn't really do anything other than making it really slick. I mean, I guess I could roll something if you want. I could roll intelligence.
Yeah, roll intelligence. You got, because you're kind of enchanting it. I mean, unless you're actually spraying a physical.
146.
Yeah, that'll do it. All right. So you enchant the tentacle, it becomes super slick. Like, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Oh, is that your turn? I'm used to you going multiple times.
Well, I mean, I'm not actually there,
Okay. Safi, it's your
Yeah.
turn.
but yeah, there will be
Okay,
stuff.
and I see the worm.
Yes, you see the worm.
Fucking centipede, it's not a worm.
You see the centipede. Yes.
Be fucking real.
Okay. So he's got blood. I am gonna send my bird into his brain
Into his brain?
through any orifice I see on his body.
Okay.
To try to explode his.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to explode his brain.
Okay, so give me an intelligence roll on that one.
It wasn't very good. 62.
Oh no.
You said 62 to...
Yeah.
Okay. So, as the phoenix, but not the phoenix, whatever it is, as the bird attempts to coalesce within the liquid of it, you feel the essence of the bird being reflected back at you as the bird returns to you.
Okay.
Making. So is that...
Huh?
Are you making another move? Like.
Yeah, because I can still attack. And seeing that the bird, whose essence is magical, reflected back, or, had no effect, I'm going to use some of the soup to do my dagger move. It takes liquid and
Oh, no.
Okay.
it puts it into wherever I can target. So if I can see down his mouth or whatever, I can put it in there, and then it explodes into 4 daggers.
All right. And give me a roll for attack.
So what do I roll for that?
It's just a D100, right?
Yeah,
With
just
my
roll the D100.
intelligence, right?
Yes,
No.
it's... Well, isn't it a spell?
Kind
Yeah,
of, but
technically.
she's literally throwing soup at it, and then
Well, yeah, but I think you need magic to make the soup actually turn into daggers.
So are you throwing it at it and turning it into daggers, or just turning it into daggers and launching the daggers at it?
No, it magically goes there, and then it explodes into daggers.
Okay. So you're like levitating the water at it, and when it would normally splash, it turns into daggers.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, that works.
Okay. So yeah, give me an intelligence. With your
120.
D100 with your intelligence bonus.
120.
Okay. That'll hit. And does that have static damage?
Well, Raggle said the damage was
It would be
my
your
intelligence.
Double it.
be double your intelligence for each one.
So that would be 110
Times 4.
times 4.
What have I done?
Okay, so that's
Huh?
440 points of damage.
My avarice rot.
Okay. Your daggers rip open. Your daggers cause cracks to form in the carapace under the centipede.
Which are shadows. Just saying. Okay.
Your shadow.
And it is now The Sand Kraken's turn.
Oh shit.
Aw, shit. Sand crack.
Okay. So, in response to the daggers hitting it, it lowers its head towards you, looking right at you, Safi. And
Thank God.
its mandibles come apart. Its mandibles open wide, and what looks like a tube shoots out of its mouth and sprays acid at you. So roll to avoid it, or roll.
Well, I
It's
am
attacking
missed
you,
right
so.
now, so
Yeah. Give me a dex roll.
that's a D100 with my Dex modifier, right?
Mhm.
Yepper.
Yes.
71.
Okay. You were able to roll.
I need-
You were able to roll out of the way just enough. The acid sprays across the floor where you were and begins melting through the floor. As it melts through the floor, it begins reflecting back. It begins reflecting the ceiling above.
Wait, it begins doing what to the ceiling?
Collecting it?
The floor, as the floor melts under the acid, it reveals a mirror underneath that's now reflecting the ceiling.
Oh.
Huh?
And the Kraken continues its spray across the cavern towards Sin now.
Fantastic. I'm gonna vault. Wait, can I vault out?
Aren't you in
Well,
shadow?
I'm smokescreen. I feel like that's literally what that move is for, because I'm immune to everything smoke.
Okay. So that's ethereal. It can't interact at all.
What do you mean? Like
Well, I mean,
I can't do it and talk?
No, I mean, can smoke be can water be thrown on smoke or just no?
I mean not. It would just float away.
Okay. Oh yeah, I guess the whole point of it is you're ethereal. You're not interacting with anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, as the centipede just kind of sprays acid into the hallway, Safi rolls out of the way, and Sin doesn't bother doing anything because she's ethereal and not affected. Anywhere where the acid touches, the floor turns into a mirror and begins reflecting the ceiling.
But not reflecting us.
Oh no, it would reflect you too. It's just a mirror.
Okay.
Okay.
I understand now. I would relay to them the earlier information I got from the touch sense thing of the giant tentacle beast coming out and then everything turning into glass and mirrored surfaces,
Okay.
because that seems relevant.
Hmm.
Sin, it's now your turn.
My turn. It's fine.
Mhm.
What do I want to do to this thing? There were like cracks in its front side or whatever now, but I
Yeah.
guess I
There's
can see that
cracks
if
in
he's
its
bending over
backside.
forward.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
it
were
is back.
cracks in its carapace that you can't see now because its head is kind of taking up most of the doorway.
Right. But there's shadows in his face where things are happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's this the whole thing is lit kind of from above with some reflection from the floor, but not much. You know, it's ambient light from the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna use Rain of Vengeance, which is 8 arrows coming down from the. Well, I guess it's technically 8 shadow beasts coming down from the sky to pierce him. They're just piercing him like
Got it.
arrows would, but they're beasts
Okay.
because they shadows. Oh, so
Yeah. Just
rolled-
go ahead and roll for damage. There's no real way for it to avoid it in the chamber. It's taking up most of the chamber, and if your arrows are coming down from the chamber, you're just gonna hit it. So
my damage is just gonna be my dexterity times 2 times 8,
okay. So what is that?
so 640.
640 total.
Yeah.
Okay.
Special K. Actually.
It's pretty good. Alright, so the arrows pierce it from above. A couple of them rail into one of its eyes, and you can see the eye shatter, and acid kind of pour out of the eye and drip down its face. The acid drips into the sand below, and everywhere it's dripping, it's turning into glass.
Hmm. I'm gonna make my. I guess this could technically hurt him a lot because, acid and things. I guess I can make my spider try to shoot a web at his face and do something, but that'll probably get burned up too. Not if I send him into, like, the shadow of his mouth. I wonder if that would do anything.
Okay.
Try and, like, bite him, inside of his mouth with his fangs.
Okay. Give me a roll for your spider for that. I guess that would be Dex, because it's going to have to come out of the shadow in its mouth, get a firm foothold, enough that it can penetrate what's still fairly tough skin from the inside of its mouth.
We'll see. Jeez. Ooh, 130.
Nice.
No, don't. Did you check
No.
the bathroom?
No, not nice. Bad
That's
news
what
bears.
comrades. I don't know. Comrade said no.
Well, check the bedroom. That's probably next to the bed.
Now he's telling you to check the bedroom.
God.
For later.
Is that
I don't know.
appropriate?
This is getting weird. I don't know. Things with this Kraken.
Alright. So the spider
Yeah.
the spider appears out of the shadow. It shuts its mandible shut in an effort to try and, I guess, swallow it at the last second. But it's not fast enough. Your spider's able to bite it and leave. How much damage does that do, or is that just poison?
That's my intelligence. Is it?
Yes.
It's just intelligence, not double
Just
the
intelligent.
Okay, then 30.
Okay.
Could it be 30 per fang?
No.
It doesn't. I know. But it is venom. I don't know if that does anything. If that.
I will mark
If it's
it as.
Okay.
Oh no, actually, this one is immune to poison.
Okay. I mean, I kind of figured.
Yep.
But.
Okay. Is that your moves?
For him, I don't have my boar, right?
Your boar was dispelled. It's gone.
Right. Okay, but I have my wolf. My wolf could think. I mean, my wolf could try to bite him, essentially die, but that's gonna happen. He's gonna do the same thing, and I wish I could see the cuts that are on him, but oh well. Same thing, go in his mouth and try to bite the fuck out of it.
Okay.
So same roll as before, right?
Okay. Its mouth is closed now, so you can't really see the shadows in its mouth.
Oh, that's right. He closes the bowl. There's gotta be a shadow. No, because he's got mirrors under him.
Yeah, now he
Maybe
does
some-
have some mirrors under him in the sand.
So weird. Well, I'll just make the wolf come out of. Man, there's gotta be some shadow on him somewhere from the mandibles.
Give me a perception.
Okay. $91.
Close, but you don't see it.
Damn
There's
it.
something to see, you're just not seeing it.
See, just not seeing it. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. So lame. Well, then I'll still just make my wolf come out of shadow of. Well, yeah, I am a shadow, so make my wolf come out and try to attack Mr. Centipede.
Okay.
Probably gonna fail, but we'll see. 131.
Okay, that actually hits.
Woohoo!
How much damage do you do?
30.
30. Okay. So your wolf comes out of a shadow somewhere on it and is able to bite hard enough to make some micro fractures in its carapace. It doesn't really notice, but it's at this point that you could swear the air just got very humid. I know. Because I saw the ad on Facebook.
Like the water that they have on
The
side,
air is
making
getting
it humid.
Yeah, the air is getting more humid. It was arid and, desert like,
Right. And now
and
we're
now it's
combining
getting
it with the
humid.
others. So we need to finish killing this thing so we can get to each other, guys.
Yeah.
But that's, I believe, the end of my move. Unless I can do anything with that cool bracelet I have.
I
You
mean,
can make it make more jewelry.
you could make it
Yeah.
rain,
Make it rain.
Woohoo. But yeah, no, I can't. Those are
Okay. So Ivan is still being grappled by the tentacle.
Get it. Even though it's super slippery now.
He's being held by the barbs that are piercing into his torso.
I see. Okay. Poor guy.
right.
Not very. He'd score a critical hit, which is
Ooh, what?
Ivan's first swing since he
Hmm.
went through his training program with Thor was literally a critical hit for max damage. Because if I
Sweet.
remember correctly, he hits for critical. Criticals are max damage.
Yes, that is correct.
All right. So
And criticals apply debilitating effects of varying types.
yes. And currently, because he suffered more than a quarter of his health in damage in one turn, he's in his rage mode, which
Rage
means all his damage is doubled for 2 rounds.
Oh, jeez.
So he does 150 damage, and criticals on the Kraken, which I guess I'm just gonna do. I don't have a 1d9, so I'm gonna do a 1d10. And say separate the beak and the head, and then the 8 tentacles.
Nice.
So I didn't plan ahead for this, so let me go ahead and write out the actual tentacles here.
The tentacle.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we'll say Ivan is connected to the 5th tentacle. All right. As the Kraken, Ivan swings as the Kraken is lowering him towards its beak and hits the beak so hard, shatters part of the tip of the beak.
Nice.
The Kraken is so taken aback by this that it flings him up into the air. Okay. And Ivan takes his second attack. And he does 88 damage. As the Kraken's flinging him into the air, he lashes out with his axe, hacking off one of the barbs from the tentacle, and oily black blood sprays into the air.
Nice. Just tearing it up.
Okay, it is no. Well, it's the Kraken's turn now.
Oh, the butt cracking turn.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez. Jesus Christ.
So the Kraken is going to shout at Ivan.
Shout. Let it.
Okay, so an ear-piercing shriek is let out and echoes and reverberates around the whole chamber.
Nice.
Sen, Safi, I need you to roll Constitution.
I don't know what that is.
Endurance.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
roll for endurance and subtract your bonus from it.
Huh?
What? Which bonus?
your endurance bonus, if you have one.
So you and it would just be your endurance. So you just roll a d100.
41.
89.
89. Okay. Safi, your ears hurt, but it's just loud. It reverberates, a shriek that seems to come out of nowhere reverberates through your chest. Sin, you are physically hurt by this for, you said 81?
89.
89. Okay. You take 29 points of damage as your ears are just, feels like your eardrums are popping from this sound that comes out of nowhere. Ivan is the target of the spell and suffers 48 points or 58 points of damage.
Comrade, how
Yeah.
are you doing those rolls for that?
So the method I'm using for this spell for the Kraken is it rolls to attack Ivan. If it
Okay.
hits Ivan, it does damage, and its
Okay.
range. Then what I do, since its damage is fairly high, anybody else who's in the target area who's... Wait, San, are you still ethereal?
Yes.
Then you take no damage.
Yeah, okay, I was
Woohoo!
wondering about that. I
Sorry
was
about
like,
that.
how?
Okay, I just figured. I don't know if that was some
Yeah.
rule about me still being able to shit out.
Yeah, pretty much anybody who's not ethereal, who's in the area of the shriek, suffers like what's the word for secondary damage? I guess secondary. So
Secondary, yeah.
secondary damage equal to their endurance roll minus the damage done to the target character.
Okay. So it's their own endurance damages them? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It does when you're thinking about the actual sound. But yeah, I know Ivan or Tom is in my lap.
But it's the way that you're doing the rolls that doesn't make much sense. So they roll.
It's the sound actually reverberating off the inside of the person's body. The stronger they are, the more it hurts.
Oh shit.
Oh no, I get it. Okay, that does make sense. Yeah, the okay, no, that makes a lot of sense.
God.
It's disgusting.
You're
So
disgusting. Alright, so yeah, send your ethereal so you don't take any damage. Alright, it is Rag's turn again.
ooh, bird time, birding time, time to be bird and do bird things. So I'm just gonna. Does it have ears? I heard it with sounds.
You're gonna have to do a perception for that.
I'm gonna go to the restroom. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Alright, I will roll a perception, see if I know if it has ears. Anytime. 118?
Okay. They're not. They are ears, but they're made for underwater hearing. So they're submerged right now. You can see them every now and then come out of the water as it splashes around.
Okay, so hurting it with sounds isn't really gonna work. Actually, technically it would, maybe. I don't know. Anyways,
I would think the effect would be dampened, because in order for it to work, the sound would have to go through the water.
water transmits sounds pretty well, actually.
Well, above the water, the
No,
air above
in
the
the water.
water. Yeah, in the
Yeah,
water, it.
and its ears are in the water.
Yeah. It doesn't amplify the sound though.
No, but it does transmit. Water can
Yeah.
transmit. I mean, it's literally a wave.
Right.
It's like sound for hundreds of miles. That's how whales communicate.
Mm-hmm.
I could do that, or I have better idea. I'm just going to cast my Raven's gonna cast Stone of Silence. Silence the fuck out of it.
Okay. So you silence the chamber.
Mm-hmm. So that there are no more of that loud noise bullshit.
All right. Sin, Safi.
Oh, and I guess now I'm solid again because I was silenced the chamber. I was in a sonic form, so I guess that kind of canceled that out. So I'm a solid object again.
Yep.
I'm also a bird.
Sin, Safi, everything suddenly gets very quiet. You can't hear anything, and when you try to speak, nothing happens.
Okay.
Rags, if that's your turn, it's Safi's turn now.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna go the soup route once again to do the daggers to the head.
Okay, give me a roll.
The soup route. I like that. 82.
Okay, that will hit. And that's another 440 points of damage.
Yes.
Okay. All right. This time the daggers dig into some of the cracks made earlier by Sin's wolf, and just spider webs radiate out from the point of injury along the carapace, and you start to see the carapace turn into glass and begin to flake and chip away as acid begins pouring out of the wound, turning the entire slope in front of it into a solid mirror. Okay, it's now very, very wet in here. The caves are now sweating, or are now dripping with water, and you can almost, the sand below you where it's not glass almost looks like it's waving and frothing.
Frothy.
Frothy sand.
Love that word. No, it's not my turn yet, so I can't do anything.
Well, my bird won't do damage because it's, well, I'm gonna try to go for his brain again.
Okay, you get to fly into his brains with your bird again?
Yeah. 84.
Okay, that works. And all right, so your bird bursts forth from its head. Oh, forgot. It's bursting forth from acid. So it is going to take some damage. It's going to take 13 points of damage as it bursts forth from the acid. The brain and the head of the centipede is pulverized, and the whole body lurches forward, falling back into the sand. And as it's falling down into the sand's getting wetter and wetter, and water rises up out of it, and eventually it turns into a whirlpool. And as the worm drops down into the center of it, it's revealed that in front of you is a whirlpool with a kraken in it.
A butt kraken.
And the kraken currently has Ivan tossed into the air. There are, the thrashing about of the cave is causing rocks to break loose from this slippery, slimy cave wall and collapse down onto the kraken. And you see Rag's raven flying about over on the other side of the cavern.
Are we waiting? So is it essentially dead, or it's still not my turn? So
Yeah. No, the sand kraken has withdrawn, and it's Sen's turn.
oh, okay. So there's like the water in the middle.
Yes, it's you're now in the same battle as Ivan and Rag's raven.
With this ridiculous kraken.
Butt kraken. I'm officially naming it the butt kraken.
Oh, okay. Well, I am going to drop a caltrop on him to see if I can immobilize him for 2 turns before I do my other attack.
How large is the caltrop?
If it's not the size of a car, like.
Well, in D3, it's not really the size. It's just like when an enemy runs into it.
So it's like a magical caltrop?
Yeah, it is. It uses my intelligence.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
My... 70.
70. Okay. The caltrop misses and falls into the water.
Fantastic.
Woo!
Well, I'm gonna throw my fan of knives at him.
Okay.
5 hits of.
All right. Go ahead and roll your 5 hits.
Ooh. Okie doke. Just type them.
Golden hits.
Y'all are glad I brought that soup now, aren't you?
Uh-huh. Soup! Sammy, the soup dispenser.
Yeah. This is love. Oh. That's so lovely.
Oh, wow.
It's okay. That's all 5, yeah.
All right. 4 hit.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
And was it?
So, that's my dexterity times 2, so 80 times 5, 400. Oh, it's times 4. 320.
320. All right. So your fan of knives rips into the kraken. Black, oily blood fills the water, turning it black. And from above, the storm that was raging begins to lessen, and you can see kind of a dim beam of light shining through the clouds now, illuminating everything below.
Sorry about that. That was just really funny. Black, oily blood falls into the water, turning it black.
Like my soul.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Alright. Really funny.
Oh, that's cool. So, based on that, I'm just going to try to poison him with my spider through one of the shadows that came about when I stabbed him.
Okay.
$126.
Okay, that misses. The spider comes out to bite the kraken, and unless it has what's its HP?
102.
All right, so the kraken squashes it.
Yeah. My poor spider.
Dead to death.
Dang.
Like a mosquito.
Yeah.
Squish.
Or a spider.
Squish.
No.
You've lost You are like the worst pet, like, ever.
I
Like,
mean, they're shadows.
two of
It's
them
okay.
are dead.
They'll come back. They're shadows. That's what they're supposed to do. They just won't come back until the next battle. So, who took damage? Safi took damage.
Hmm. Ivan
Safi
took
took a
damage.
little bit of damage earlier, but Ivan has taken the most damage this round, or this
Okay,
battle.
well, I'm gonna just make my wolf howl, which will heal everyone for 30 HP.
Okay. So, Safi, you're back up at max health. It heals everyone for 30?
Yeah.
Alright. So you heal the Kraken for 30.
What? Oh my god.
You said everyone.
It doesn't heal enemies. God damn it.
You should have specified. You need to devils in the.
I don't think of Kraken as a person.
Oh my god.
Like, it didn't heal your
That
Raven.
is so insensitive. Oh my god.
It didn't heal your Raven.
My Raven hasn't taken any damage.
I'm just saying, if it had, it wouldn't have healed it because it's not a person.
You're just racist. Alright, that's the most racist
That doesn't
thing.
even make no.
That poor Kraken.
Yeah, well, that Kraken is killing my friends who I just healed for 30 HP, so you're welcome.
And the Kraken thanks you.
Fuck
Alright. So Ivan is actually falling during his turn. Again. Okay.
So that's his shortcut back to Valhalla, I think.
Yep.
He might survive.
He might not too. So, as he falls back towards the Kraken, he raises his axe up for a strike, and the Kraken literally pancakes up against the wall with one of its tentacles for 132 points of damage.
Ow.
That's
So he's dead.
He is not dead.
What?
He is very injured.
Oh wow.
ouch.
Okay.
Just not.
Ivan then pushes his feet against the wall,
Huh?
pulls the tentacle back, and slices the whole thing off using the axe one-handed, and does 128 points of damage to the Kraken.
Fucking badass.
Okay. It's now the Kraken's turn.
The butt Kraken.
Josh, you said your Raven is no longer ethereal?
You are correct.
Okay. Doesn't matter. It's mad at Ivan. Shouldn't have been mad at Ivan. Alright, so the Kraken attempts to slap Ivan with another tentacle, and Ivan buries his axe into the tentacle. The tentacle reels back, taking another 86 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And Ivan will meet you back in Valhalla.
Oh, well. Alright.
Alrighty then.
Well,
Gonna...
the Kraken just critical on Ivan. Ivan had 68 points of damage left, and the Kraken's crit is at 150.
Oh.
So, the Ivan doesn't see this last tentacle coming, and it smears him across the wall. There's a little bit of Ivan all over everything.
Oh,
I think Ivan needs a little more training.
maybe.
Ivan did quite a bit of damage to this Kraken, pretty much fighting it by himself almost for like half the fight so far. I think he's done pretty well.
My Raven is help.
You were helping, yes. But I mean, he's a melee character. He's literally hopped into the water and fighting the Kraken.
Well, He didn't
Yeah.
really hop in. He got grabbed by a tentacle.
He
That's
would have
true.
hopped in though. He had to hop in to fight the Kraken, basically.
That makes sense.
It's all right. He's just back in Valhalla. He probably learned a little bit from his battle.
We should hope so.
Yep. In fact, I mean, just because he's in Valhalla doesn't mean he can't walk back. Bifrost is still there.
That is true. Wait. If he goes back to Valhalla, does he take everything he has with him to Valhalla?
Well, technically, he leaves it where he died, but he
Oh.
gets his gear back when he goes to Valhalla because it's Valhalla. You just kind of reappear with all your stuff.
So he still has the crystal with him.
Yes.
So I can just teleport him right to me.
Yes.
And then, oh no, I can teleport him right to my Raven or to my Side Crystal.
You could, yes, do that.
I am absolutely doing that.
Okay. It's actually your turn. Kraken just killed Ivan, smeared him across the wall, and it's your turn.
So yeah. Ivan is going to literally just reappear.
Okay.
And
Are you gonna
I guess
reappear him on the ground right next to you?
right next to me? What do you mean?
Next to your Raven.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I was just checking to see if you were gonna do anything cool, like bring him back and have him reappear just above the Kraken's face, so he can.
Oh, actually, no, that's a better idea. Let's do that. I like that. I'm basically just gonna.
Sticks the clues. Why?
So yeah, I'm literally
It
just
is a
gonna
good
drop.
clue.
Oh, you know what? It's my turn. I can technically send a message to Ivan. He's gotta tell him he has a few seconds to grab anything he wants, because I'm going to drop him directly above a Kraken.
Okay. Let me roll to
Oh.
see what Ivan grabs.
Okay.
All right. This should be interesting.
Okay.
Are you gonna transport him?
Yep.
All right.
Go.
I'm gonna do a special rule since Ivan's being transported in kind of out of sequence. He's gonna get one out of sequence turn. Otherwise,
Surprise attack.
it would be pretty much pointless if he didn't immediately get an attack.
Yeah.
So you said to grab something.
Yeah.
Ivan didn't roll very well on that.
Okay.
So he does have an axe strapped to his back. However, he's currently swinging another Viking.
I mean, the other Viking could have an axe on him if Ivan crits with hitting him with the Viking.
What was the other Viking holding on? Because
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Did the other Viking grab another Viking before he?
No, the other Viking appears to be holding on to a horn of mead and a
There you go.
like a turkey leg.
Man, stab him in the eye with the horn.
Wait, that's excellent because it's liquid.
It is liquid.
But it's not
Hmm?
use the liquid yet.
Don't.
Could you use the liquid right now in the middle of that turn?
And technically the round's not over, so Ivan's still raging.
Oh, that is correct.
So I guess in this case he would do 119 damage to both the Kraken and the unfortunate.
Oh, dang.
Because, equal and opposite forces.
Yo.
It's accurate, but still hilarious.
In other words, he smashed the guy into.
So in this case, the only way I can kind of figure out how all that damage is happening, Ivan appears just above the Kraken, and as he's falling into the water and the Kraken opens its beak to swallow him up, he shoves the other Viking down the Kraken's throat, and the Kraken begins choking on it.
Past midnight.
I can see the time.
Okay.
So the Kraken's now choking on a Viking.
I'm going to use. So now that my Raven's done, I'm gonna use another thing to use the. Oh, what? Oh. That was a message you sent a while ago. Okay, so use an ability to apply basically my intelligence worth of force to the Viking that's just been forcibly swallowed twice. So basically, apply what is essentially 4 times my intelligence in force to the Viking that is now being swallowed forcibly and forced into
Like in strength or to the damage by the attack?
And I don't know how you're calculating the damage. If you're calculating the damage based on the amount of force that from the slamming attack, or
I
from
calculated the
just
damage as though Ivan had hit the Kraken with a club.
Oh, well, not sure how that would work. Within the realm of my game, I'm basically just adding a shit ton of like force behind it
Oh,
using telekinetic force.
so you're increasing the damage that Ivan does.
Yeah, by like basically 4 times my intelligence.
Okay, and what's your intelligence?
55?
Okay, so you're adding 220 points of damage to Ivan's attack.
Woo!
Alright, so it's not choking on it anymore. The entire bottom half of the beak, has been ripped off by the unfortunate Viking who's now, well, he's back in Valhalla. As cumulatively, that's basically 339 points of damage to both the Viking and the Kraken.
You should have slipped a crystal on him. You could have ported it back.
Oh my god, I should have! Oh god!
Alright,
Oh my
the
god. Wait.
storm above has now completely cleared. There is a strange purple light just radiating down. It's very bright.
Use the lens.
The Kraken is kind of withdrawing into the water. It can barely keep itself afloat.
So I could solidify the water so it can't escape.
Well, it is your turn, unless... Yeah. Okay, so you solidify the water, so the Kraken can't escape.
And then my bird's gonna dive into its brain again.
Okay. At this point, there is... we're done with combat, by the way.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm gonna teleport
Oh, I
the
thought it was
lens
dead.
to
It's
Or not dead.
It's not dead, but it's immobilized.
Yeah.
And there is a purple light shining down into the chamber.
I'm gonna teleport the lens to Safi and Sin.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
Safi,
guess
one of you is holding the lens.
Mm-hmm. Trevor, you guys can decide.
you say Safi because it's her turn.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
it can go to Safi.
Okay. Then I'll go hold the lens under the light.
Okay. As you hold the lens up to the light, and the light refracts through the lens, turning into this bright red light. And as it comes across the Kraken changes into an old man, stuck in the water, head half caved in, beaten and bloody. And for a moment, he's looking confident, almost as though he's enjoying this game. But the moment the light is cast on him, he suddenly looks afraid.
Kick him in the balls.
So because I'm holding the lens, that means it's Sen's turn, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, technically we're out of combat, so it's whoever wants to go next.
Okay.
Is he conscious? Talking?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He was just
Okay,
looking
yeah.
like he was having a good time until he realized the light was flashing on him. Now he looks afraid.
So, who are you, bro?
Broskif.
Saxon, just stand up and go. You're not stuck. It's okay.
She's trapped.
She thinks so.
Mm-hmm.
No. So as you're talking to him, he closes his eyes and begins chanting.
My
I'm
raven
gonna
is gonna go claw hit at his eye.
say I'm gonna have none of that shit.
Oh, why don't I just
Ivan is leaping down towards him with the axe above his head.
God, Ivan, don't do that. We can get answers from him. Well, maybe not if he's chanting things.
No, just let Ivan go. Let him do his
Alright.
thing.
Alright.
Ivan's gonna do his thing, and I'm gonna do exactly what I did the last time.
Well, because I have an
And
ability
add-
that prevents them from speaking or using vocal components of a spell.
Oh yeah, I can just make everything completely silent. So my raven's gonna make.
No, because then we can't talk.
We don't want him to talk.
No, we can't either.
Well, while you
guys
guys were
every-
arguing, Ivan's axe split his head and torso in half,
Oh, there you go.
and Ivan's now standing in the solidified water with his foot up on the old man's shoulder.
Sugar.
Um,
Sugar.
That translates into
Almost
balls.
dead sugar lumps.
pulling his axe free of the corpse. As
So
his
he's dead
axe
now?
comes out, this long ribbon comes out of the torso. It's dripping with gore and stuck to the axe.
Probably.
Yum.
I sent a psychic message to Ivan to keep that. So is this all? Are we? Is he's dead? He's officially dead now?
Yep, that is Vales. You killed Vales.
Nice.
Excellent. I'm teleporting the lens back to me.
My companions go around and look for shiny things that might be of value.
And then I'm gonna teleport back in there, and I'm gonna do what I did last time. I'm gonna trap his soul,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna start flaying his skin and taking his bones and other parts.
Okay.
Did my companions find things?
You flay an old man.
Oh,
as you're
rude.
taking apart the old man, all of the enchantments that were keeping this world the way it was begin to drop one by one. First, any reflections dull and go away.
Mhm.
Then the granite rock begins to almost wither and turn to dust. The water that was solidified evaporates away, leaving just a deep pit, until all of you are standing in the middle of a grassy field with a deep pit. In the pit is a large mound of treasure.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
And Ivan's standing on the treasure with a bloody ribbon in his hand. Rags, the sphere is where the treasure appeared out of. You're now standing next to it. Everything just kind of materialized out of it. The sky above you is clear and blue. There's no more mirrors, and the glass landscape basically sprouted grass around you and turned back into a lush plain.
Nice. So I'm gonna do what I did before. I'm gonna take his skin and bones and stuff,
All
and
right,
all that,
you have
and
the skin
make
and
a soul gem.
bones. of an
I'm
old
gonna grab
man.
treasure.
My wolf is literally collecting the treasure because, my spider and my boar are dead at the moment. But my wolf is collecting lots of treasure.
All right. Between you and Savvy, you both get an additional small hoard of treasure.
Woohoo!
Sen, that would make yours a slightly larger than small hoard.
Treasure.
Does that make it move to level 2? I don't know what that requires. I forgot. Like, I know it has to be bigger.
It's the size of the hoard that determines the levels, but I never actually thought about that, so I'm just gonna roll a die and figure that out. Yeah, we're gonna bump you up to a medium hoard now, and
Yes!
you increased your next level,
That's fantastic.
so you now get to pick an element.
This is so exciting. I thought about this all week. Well, for 2 weeks of what I would want to do when I got here. And I was going to do fire because fire is really badass, but I feel like earth is going to be a lot more fun because a lot more things are made out of things that are from the earth be manipulated by me. Right?
I mean,
Unless you guys suddenly get sent to Cloud City or something.
God damn it, you would.
yeah. Have you met him? You have met him. The
Yeah,
fuckery is coming.
Send me to Cloud City. Doesn't mean I still can't do things with Earth thing. I don't know if I want Earth or Fire. A second about that. I thought about this for a while, and I love them both so much. Because with Earth, couldn't I do things? What am I going to do with my element? Tell me what my range with my element would be.
Well, I
Does that
haven't really thought about. I imagine you would have the same control over an element that a dragon would. So if it's fire, you would be resistant to fire, and you would be able to create fire. If it's earth, you'd be resistant to elemental attacks using earth, and you would be able to summon elemental attacks using earth.
It's so hard to say. I have really epic music playing right now. That's perfect for this.
There's also air.
Well, yeah, but
You are the last airbender.
Oh my god.
That's literally my least favorite element. I
You
would
made
pick water over that, but I don't want to pick water either. It's either fire or earth.
You made On cry.
Unless you count spirit as, I don't know if we're counting
This
4 elements or 5.
This is not Captain Planet.
Captain Planet.
I mean, Captain
hero.
Planet, pagan, whatever.
Hearts.
Farts.
Fire is so cool too.
Yeah.
Being resistant to fire is cool, but like with earth, I could do really cool things with earth.
You could create walls
Like,
of earth.
With like trees, I could make walls. I could choke people with the vines. I do lots.
You
of
could be the
things.
tree from Evil Dead.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. I'm probably not gonna rape the chick though.
Yeah, she only gets one element.
What?
She's evolving as a dragon, so.
Yeah, it's so amazing. I'm really excited. But like fire, I just like the only thing I can think of with fire is like I burn people.
Oh, that's so. Oh,
But, like,
all
I mean,
you could
yeah,
do is
that's-
set things on fire with fire. That's so.
That is
No, you
pretty
could
awesome.
You could lava. You could superheat water. You could
Oh.
I could light up rooms.
You could make lights.
I could melt things too.
Water would be.
You could also make things warm and toasty.
Mhm.
You could cook food.
I mean, I guess I could essentially make a wall of fire if I need to protect my.
True.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea.
So both have good things. I mean, Earth technically, does that also have dominion over plant life because they are Earth-based?
Right, that's what I figured.
Yeah, comrade. What's the ruling on that?
Like I figured I could still manipulate like trees and plants and stuff too. Or is it just like dirt-based things?
Comrade.
Because like poison ivy can.
Poison.
Yeah, let me get back to you on that one.
Okay, then I won't make my elemental decision until you get back to me on.
All of the
By
potential.
the next session, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay. Safi, you actually did the most damage to the Sand Kraken.
The sand butt kraken.
So, while you were searching through the treasure to pick out the prettiest stuff, you find a wand.
Nice.
Long
The
as
wand-
everything's-
The wand allows you to amplify your damage when you're using a water elemental attack.
Nice.
That's badass.
Span.
So that the wand has 4 charges that you can use each day, and each charge will amplify your damage by 3.
Sweet. Okay.
Nice.
Would I just double my gold?
Yes, just double your gold.
And then what do I put for mine?
Whatever Sen's gold is, you have half
7.
that amount.
Good. So you have 700. Well, that mine was like the shiny gems. So I have 14,000.
Yes. So Safi, you have 7,000 gold.
No, she would have 14,000. 14,000 was with my small hoard, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I have 28,000.
Go Sin.
Woohoo! You
Yep,
know, just need to
28,000.
upgrade those dragon powers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait till I can turn into a full dragon.
Yeah, it was stuff that you can notice now. You can add another 15 points to your armor, as your
Jesus.
scales are now permanently out.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Also, in doing melee damage, you get an additional attack because you now have talons.
I get an additional attack because I have talons?
Yeah,
In melee.
you can
Oh, man.
you can scratch them now.
That's fantastic. So excited. I know I don't sound excited. Just don't,
I'm
but
so
really
excited.
excited. I'm like ridiculously excited. Awesome.
Awesome. I'm just happy I actually did damage.
You did damage.
Tons
Did a
of
lot
damage.
it. Literally
Yeah,
tons of damage.
those water daggers were tearing them up.
Tearing his shit up.
That was my new ability I created.
Nice. All right, so you guys finish looting the place and return to
And the
Valhalla.
people. Yep.
Where,
What is that? Is that orb thing still there? Or is it gone?
No, the orb thing dematerialized.
Ah, okay. Well, okay. So I guess we'll go back to Valhalla and see what's up with the.
Yeah.
I want to go find that random Viking.
He's
I'm gonna grab a steak.
yeah. You could track down the random Viking by walking down the table, and eventually you see him. He's back at it, drinking a horn of mead, eating a drumstick. He really wasn't alive long enough to recognize anybody. Plus,
Mhm.
you know, you were controlling a raven
Yeah.
at the time. But yeah, he's there. He'd nod and raise his horn to you.
I'll raise a horn to him and drink.
Yeah, Thor and Odin would clap you guys on the shoulder. Job well done.
So,
Right, so what'd you guys think of this particular session?
it
That
went
was
well.
fun.
I liked it.
Yeah. Did we get any experience and/or level up at all?
Yeah, I don't do experience. I do like achievement levels. So at the end of this session, you guys take another level.
Woohoo!
Take what?
Take another level.
Oh, okay. So what do we get?
Another level.
Another level.
But any ability or points
Yes.
for okay.
Yeah. At every level you get 6 abilities and whatever ability points.
6 points and 1 new ability.
Yep.
Mhm.
Now, last time I gave my pet a new ability too. Should I not have?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Sweet.
So would you guys like to see more sessions like this, more sessions like the first one, or more sessions like the last one?
I enjoyed the last one and this one.
Yeah.
I will say I liked in the last one how you did display everyone's health stuff. I think if you're gonna do it on Twitch, that would be helpful too.
Yeah, I was thinking I would actually have a running tally of people's stats on the side.
Yeah, because I'm just a visual person, so if
Okay.
I was watching it on Twitch, I would like.
Yeah, I can bring that back.
Yeah, I think that's what I like. Yeah, combine those two. But yeah, I liked the last one a lot too.
Yeah. The last one and this one were really good, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, I will try to avoid doing large scale battles again. It is a fun attempt, but it didn't.
I don't think it was that there was large scale battles. It was just that like because of the way the battles happened, instead of like every time something happened, it got reset. So some people didn't get to attack, and I basically killed everything.
Yeah.
And it was basically just me killing everything.
I got
But
to
then
eat some
again,
chips.
what?
Yeah.
I got to eat.
Yeah, she got to.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of the way a lot of these fights seem to be going, though. Is each session it's usually one or two people doing everything, and then other people just kind of
Yeah.
supporting.
That's why this session I didn't have any minions. I
Any
just
what?
had any minions. I just had you guys
Oh,
fight, do some puzzles, avoid some traps, and then go ahead and fight the boss.
I thought maybe we would run into like his pets that you mentioned, but
Well, he was the pets.
oh, he was the pets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
They were his
Gotcha.
pets, and he was the pets.
Oh, because he's the old man. Right. Okay.
So if you didn't have the lens, he would have been defeated, but it wouldn't have been killed. He would have just sunk back into his chamber, and then, he would have been fine.
Gotcha.
But when you shine the lens on him, it revealed his true form, so you were able to actually do real damage to him. And since he's an old man, he has 50 hit points, and 50 hit points don't stand up very well to an axe.
Nope.
no, not really. Especially Ivan's axe. Speaking of which, what is Ivan doing now? How is Ivan doing now that he's died a bunch and turned into a berserk?
What is he doing now?
Yeah.
Oh, he's drinking out of Thor's never-ending horn.
Oh, well, alright then.
Basically, he's standing up on the table, drinking out of the never-ending horn with people around him chanting, drink, 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 drink. Yeah, I mean, he's embracing the lifestyle.
I'm next.
Yeah.
I'm next on the never-ending horn.
Yeah. You would drink and drink and drink and drink, and the mead would never end. Eventually, you would get drunk, pass out, and fall down on the table. Before you pass
Excellent.
out, you see Ivan hitting on Sif. Thor would come over, squash him with the hammer. They'd have a good laugh about it and go back to drinking.
Excellent. Well, okay.
Fantastic.
That was good.
And I hope you guys caught on to the thing with Valhalla by now.
Mhm.
If you guys die, you go back to Valhalla, and if you are able to, you can come back to the quest. So there's no actual risk of real death. You can die, but you just go right back to Valhalla.
Well,
By the way,
fantastic.
Roz, can I have a crystal?
What?
Six. Can I have
What
a
crystal? What? Oh, yeah. You can have a crystal. I make a cognizance crystal and give it to Safi.
Yeah, so
Everyone's got a little
crystals
crystal
now.
and little. Yeah.
Just figured, just in case.
Yeah, makes sense.
And technically, at this point, actually, one more story thing that I almost
Okay.
forgot. So, as you guys are feasting and having a good time and drinking, a person you hadn't seen before would come up and tap you on the shoulder. He'd tap Sin on the shoulder, and he'd say, "You've done Peyrun a great favor today. If you want, he will permit you an audience with him, and you may discuss politics and which side you really want to be on." And then he would back up into the shadows and disappear.
I need to go talk to Peyrun if I want.
Yes, if you want to, you can now go talk to Peyrun, and you can possibly work for him.
Or for him, isn't he just like causing destruction because he feels like it?
Well, that's pretty much what all the gods do.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Accurate.
However, in actual Slavic mythology, instead of being brothers like Thor and Loki, Peyrun and Phaelus are mortal enemies.
Oh. Well, yeah, I guess I'll go talk to him and see what he wants to say. I'm gonna bring my snack with me and my mead. If
Okay.
that's permittable. Yeah, I don't care if it's permittable. I'm just gonna do it.
Well, we'll resolve that next session.
But yeah, that's fine. But that now you know that's what